Our call sale last month was so successful, it's being held over again this month at Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain. All tires at cost with premium installation. And check out their alignment specials too. Held over one more month. All tires at cost with premium installation. That's Butler's Tire and Auto Service, 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain, right across from KFC. It's party time. Anytime. With the help of Southern Equipment Rentals in Shelby, they now rent bouncy houses. It's the best deal you can get. Rent one of their bouncy houses Friday through Monday, and you pay for only just 1 day's rental. Plus, they have snow cone machines and cotton candy machines for rental too. And delivery and setup is available. Give them a call at 704-406-9292 or drop by. They're located at 1740 Boston Road, Highway 18 North in Shelby. Online at serentals.co. Like them on Facebook too. It's a month-long blowout sale at Iconic Motors of Shelby. All month long, you'll get Iconic Memorial Month blowout pricing. Plus, come in now and get pre-approved in seconds. Cadillacs, BMWs, SUVs, and of course, trucks, and more trucks. No matter where you live, it's well worth the drive for an Iconic Memorial Month-long deal at Iconic Motors of Shelby. Online at iconicmotorcompanyofshelby.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com. Like them on Facebook too. If you're unhappy about the service you receive from your pharmacy, then see the happy people at the Happy Pharmacies, Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy in Falston. They'll be more than happy to serve you and your pharmacy needs. See them about preventive care vitamins and to help fight off those colds and viruses. Don't worry, be happy with the Happy Pharmacies, Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston.
Man, I only do things incredible can, 'cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, 'cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, 'cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, 'cause that's who I am.
do a basic maintenance on your system, give them a call. 704-487-7877. Once again, that's Shelby Heating and Air. Thanks for sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Well, as everybody can tell, we got no JP this morning. So,
the player is down.
The yeah. Must have had some action last night for what the player did.
It was a long night.
Let's not think about that.
He might have stayed up reading Star Wars.
Is that
last
not
night.
what you wanted to
Oh,
think?
you know what? You know what?
You.
He probably had a hangover from May the 4th.
That's
go.
what it
That's
is.
what I'm saying. He had a May the 4th hangover.
Nailed it.
No, he sent that to me.
Did you get a happy May the 4th? Too?
Yeah, I
I don't-
sure did.
You know, JP doesn't. I don't believe
Does he have
JP
your
has
number?
my number. I don't think he does.
I'll give it to him.
You can give it to him so he can text me Star Wars and stuff. I want to say that while we got a moment here while Kevin's setting up, the 1982 Cherryville State Championship baseball team was recognized in their game against Bessemer City. So a lot of those guys from the 82 team came back. One that comes to mind because my wife's friends with him was Rusty Strout was there, amongst others. Wish I had all the names to read, but a lot of those old guys are still around and came out to the game. And Cherryville won their first round game against Bessemer City on Tuesday night, probably covered here on WCSL on radio. So congratulations to the 82 team again, 40th anniversary of their state championship.
Awesome.
All right, NASCAR. We're in Darlington this weekend. And Terry, is this a track you like or don't like?
I like it. I do. I mean, I want to see the new cars out there. I want to see them run together, because a lot of times in Darlington, you'll get a leader and he'll lead for 200 laps by himself out front. Because if you can get out front and have the clean air up against your car without, blogging it down when you're in traffic, you run away a lot of times. So I want to see it with the new car out there and see how tight they can run.
Well, how about, have you heard or seen any talk about, it's the Darlington's famous for the Darlington stripe. These cars have, sometimes it seems like they held up really good, but Terry, as far as the tires go, them things,
they shred.
That's the biggest issue, is not like the car, when it seems like when it hits something, it's fine. It can back into fences and it's been okay, but if anything touches a tire, wheel, or whatever, something's going wrong. And I think they've got to work on some of that, don't they?
It happens a lot down there if you've ever watched the races before, and Darlington's good about beating up your tires in every race that you come down there.
I wasn't even thinking about it being Darlington. Goodness. Man, this might be nothing but tire. They might run, 15 laps a tire?
Maybe.
Like, seriously,
maybe 20.
it tears them up, and these new tires are getting torn up.
Isn't this the track too tough to tame?
Right.
So they always called it that because your tires wear out, and then the next thing you're in the wall.
Yeah,
I guess
if you
that's what
watch
it
the
is.
cars, though, you can see them just bouncing through that track, and I know they've repaved it and stuff like that, but I know before, I mean, you could just watch your cars. And as they come around corners, just watch them how much they bounce.
So, in other words, the track at Darlington just mirrors the rest of the roads in the great state of South Carolina.
Yes,
that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But one thing I love about the place, and you're talking about running up against the rail, I mean, them guys will be like 2-3 inches off the rail, and that's where they'll run once they get going.
Yep.
Up at the top.
We've got paint schemes. Of Darlington is always throwback weekend, and we've got some paint schemes for the folks watching online.
I can't get used to the offset number. I'm sorry. I don't know why. It just doesn't look right. What do you think, Zach? I mean, I mean, that paint scheme looks awesome.
Yes.
But I think the number one just needs to be slid back a little bit.
Why?
I don't know, Terry. It just seems like it should be.
They're moving forward, Tom. That's what it's about. NASCAR.
Well, you know all about moving forward, Mr. 1985 over here with your pencil and paper and notes that you bring in every week. So yeah, you know all about moving forward.
No, it's true.
Give me a break, moving forward.
Well, Ross Chastain in the one will be in the Coca-Cola car. I don't know if that don't look like a throwback at all. If any of y'all recognize any paint schemes,
leaning back.
There's the two car.
I think it's an
and
awesome
Menards,
scheme.
Yellow and green.
That's how come he never wins. He's leaning back.
That looks like the Mellow Yellow car?
That looks like the Superflow car from the Days of Thunder movie. You remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Here's the 3 in a blue and white. I don't know what this is. This is 2, but this is who's 3? Austin Dillon.
Yes.
Yep. He's in the 3 Huck gear. And then the 4 is in the Chasing a Cure pink and black and white car this week. The 5 is in a Hendrick Chevrolet.
That's ugly.
That's Larson.
That's kind of Larson. I was trying to get a
You don't have to worry about him, Tom. He's leaning back.
Who's the guy? Who's the guy for Hendrick? Byron, didn't he just sign a new 2-year deal with Hendrick? Thought I heard that on the radio.
William Byron.
Yeah, William Byron. That's right. Just got a 2-year extension with Hendrick. Every Hendrick driver has won a race this year. Am I right with that?
I'm not.
I think everybody on their team's won a race. Yeah, I think everybody on that team's won a race this year.
Yeah, I'm not 100 on that one. But all right, going through some more. The 6 cars in the blue light. Look for something.
There you go.
This is the one my daughter likes. He had this in the
straight up, Tom.
He had this at something like this at in Charlotte, and so the Corey LaJoy is in the 777 pink car. So that's kind of a nice little play on that. It's a lottery car, Tom. 8 is in the 3 key. Whatever, I don't even know. Napa is Chase Elliott this week. Almirola is Almirola in the 10 now? Is that who's in the 10? Who's in the 10, Terry?
Eric Almirola.
Okay, he's in the Smithfield. Hamlin in a black FedEx.
FedEx look nice.
There's the old Rusty Wallace throwback for Advance Auto Parts in the 12 car, the old Miller Genuine Draft throwback for him.
Man, I remember that. The Miller Genuine Draft car. Wasn't it a Pontiac? I want to say it was a Pontiac.
It may have been a couple of times. Yeah. The 14 cars, Mahindra Tractor, 16 green Athletic, 17 black and gold, looking like DeWalt, but it's sponsored by Socio, so the throwback to Matt Kenseth.
And the champion of the race, number 18.
How do you have a champion of a race? You have a race winner, a champion of the season, Terry. You don't have a champion of the race.
Choke an egg.
What does that even mean?
It's suck an egg, not choke an egg.
That's what I'm saying.
Logistics, guys.
Oh, God. Joey Logano will not be in a bright yellow car this week for the first time. Well, he'll be in a red with gold. Who's that? Terry, is that a throwback to anybody you know of just off the top of your head?
Just with the Pennzoil on it.
That's all I can see.
Yeah.
Moneyline 23, Bubba Line will be in his regular paint scheme. The 24 William Byron this week will be in the Flame edition of the Jeff Gordon throwback, not the Rainbow Warrior edition, but the Flames.
You wish he was Jeff Gordon.
Well, a lot of people do. Leaf Filter 31. Ain't nothing exciting on some of these.
That's a nice little tire, 34.
A nice little what?
I mean, a car.
Yeah. Wait a minute, what's he talking about? Tire. Sorry. 42 Ty Dillon, the Petty GMS, a throwback to an old Petty race car back in the day.
I don't know if I've seen that.
I don't know whether I've seen that.
That's probably a Lee Petty or
okay.
Or that's not a Richard. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember him having any white cars.
Look at the old style numbers.
That's what I'm saying. The 42 is driven by Lee, right, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably a Lee Petty throwback. And in fact, didn't Lee Petty go over the wall at Darlington? And that might even be
possibility.
There's a chance that might even be the car design. So I'm sure we'll hear about it during the race. I need to research that too. But I remember going to the beach as a kid every time we did, Tom, and Dad would point to that hill in the corner. That's where Lee Petty went over the wall. Got up, and got some hot dogs and some fries at the concession stand. They pulled his car back in. He walked in, got back in the car, and kept racing.
That's the way it used to be. That's the way it used to be when you had Real Man. You used to have Real Man.
That was when
back when
Jordan used to play basketball.
Before they moved forward.
Yeah.
Back when they moved forward. Yeah, before they moved forward.
43's in the Petty blue with an old throwback number. So the Petty GMS and the numbers are the throwbacks.
One thing I liked, and that's why I was waiting until we got to the next one because I couldn't remember on the other cars, but on 42 it even had where they is from, like Statesville, North Carolina.
Yeah, it was cool.
I like that.
We're at
on the 42, it had it on the back fender.
at Statesville, North Carolina.
Well,
Rode on it,
under Eric Jones's name right there, it says Talladega boy.
you know,
How
I
you
think
see
they
that?
ought
Is
to,
he from there?
you know.
How do I see that? It's right there in the little. I'm looking at it right here on this one. It's a
It's
little
like
bigger.
Oh, I guess that's when we get older.
There's Kurt Busch, and he's in the McDonald's this week. So Kurt
So
and the
Bill Elliott's
45.
all right, isn't it?
Mhm.
McDonald's. Yep.
Nature Valley 47. How about the old Mark Martin lookalike in the 48? Here with the he
old Valvoline
obviously
car.
used to
Yep.
drive the 6, but it's the Valvoline.
He's got the little Valvoline and moniker up in the back window, but
So I found the car that they're obviously making this look like. Lee Petty 1959 Oldsmobile 88 is what this car is. I'm going to pull it up for the
Look at that
folks online as soon as I can find the right buttons to press. Here we go, Zachary and
How about that?
Terry and
That
Tom.
thing.
There you go.
Here's the Petty car that they're making it look like. So it's a 1959 Oldsmobile
Back
88. Here's the picture of
Look
it
at that.
on the track.
back when it was truly a stock car.
So yeah. So for the
Yes.
folks watching at home, let's see. Let me go to Smartboard, and we can switch back and forth to the Petty cars.
that
here.
thing weighed 10,000 pounds.
So there's what it looks like for the folks at home when it raced, and this is what it looks like today. Hey, here's how about you was talking about Lee
Look at
Petty
that
crashing.
boy.
This is the one at Daytona. That was in the 73, not the 40. 40.
He run over somebody else's car.
Let's see. Here's him sitting in front of that car. Obviously, the picture's been reversed.
Look at
with
that.
The numbers
He's out there in
backwards.
his plaid shirt,
Yeah.
jeans.
He's got his helmet on, Tom. What are you talking about?
That's awesome, though. I mean, it was really,
Look,
it was truly
look,
stock car.
That
racing.
guy
Yeah.
in his plaid shirt and
That's
jeans did this.
Yep.
Yep.
That's Bo and Luke Duke right
Yeah, man.
there.
They've had those spacesuits for a long time, though. I mean, they've wore them for forever.
Now here's as old as it gets, as far as one of his older ones in the 42.
See, I got the classic quality tires on the front of that thing.
Now this is what the 43s is probably trying to look like right now. We'll skip over to them. So this is a 1960 Lee Petty Plymouth Fury is what that is. So there's the
Check out the tail fins. It's awesome. They should have put them on the car. Just bolted on some tail fins. My mom had a 58 Rambler that reminded me of that. Had big tail fins on the back.
there's you some a little mixture of Lee Petty cars. And now Tom, that's a good shot of it in the actual shop, all fixed up and nice for you 43 fans.
Is that in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, and it might not be in the Hall of Fame. That might be in the Petty or Daytona or somewhere like that.
That's on my to-do list this summer. I need to get up to the Hall of Fame. I always mean to get up there, and I never do.
There's the Daytona crashed car that we just showed the picture of him in Airborne. And that's the rest of it.
Yeah.
So there's just some fun Lee Petty throwbacks and Richard in the Petties. 77, 99, and that's about it. So that's some NASCAR throwback paint schemes. Let me pull up your favorites for this weekend.
Yeah, who's going to be champion?
Who's favorite at Darlington?
Who's going to be the champion of the race, Terry?
Darlington?
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch. Of course, it's a good track for him. Everybody wrecks, so he likes it when that happens.
Kevin Harvick's always good down there.
Yeah, he is.
This didn't. Jeez.
Darlington's a little over a mile, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the in-betweeners.
I think it's like 1.2 or something, isn't it?
I was trying to click on the who's
right, it's
favorite,
right.
but
Yeah.
instead of putting them in like who's favorite in order, it had them in who's favored in alphabetical order. So I was not reading all of that. There's usually a Darlington 101 on here for me to click on, and I do not see it this week, Tom. So I was going to answer all of your questions about the Darlington track, but I'll have to go to the Darlington schedule instead.
Kevin, are you not prepared for class today?
It looks like NASCAR isn't prepared for class. They usually have a link right at the top that says Dover 101 or Talladega 101. What's today? Saturday? We've got today practice at 10:30 a.m. and qualifying at 11 for Cup. So if you want to kind of get into that after we get off the air, that's what they'll be doing. The Mahindra Rockstar 200 today on WCSL 1590 AM 92.9 FM. You're listening to us right now Xfinity Series racing today, 1:30 p.m. And then tomorrow, Mother's Day race, 3:30 p.m. Goodyear 400 in Darlington. So there's your schedule for the weekend. Like I said, they haven't done any qualifying yet for the folks at home, so I can't even tell you on that. So Terry, I got a starting lineup for the Xfinity Series. I got a starting lineup for everybody but that. So you got any feelings on this one? I'm not seeing. I'll find the favored list here in a second since that's not working like it's supposed to be.
If I have no inside information, I'm just going to go with Larson.
Why?
Because he's having a good year. Arguably the most talented driver out there. Terry,
okay.
Would you not say arguably he's the most talented driver out there?
He's probably second on my list.
Behind
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch, who wins one race every couple of years.
He's won over 200 and some, Tom.
Yeah. If we count races like when he was in elementary school.
You know what I love about going to these places though, and I know y'all been to a lot, but sometimes you're able to walk out on the tracks, and have you ever got up to the track, Tom, and started to walk out there and look back to make sure there wasn't no cars coming?
Actually, I have. At Darlington. I went to Darlington in like 94.
Wait a minute, no. Here's the even better question. Did you check both ways?
Well, no, I just looked back. I did not look forward.
Did you look right?
Yeah.
Or look left?
You know what I used to like to do when I lived in Charlotte, though, is when I actually lived in Harrisburg, I lived a couple miles from that track, and I used to like to go to qualifying, because in qualifying you can get right down there
right up
and
next
just
to it.
as they go by. That was pretty cool.
Tom, were you Joe Dirt in college?
I had more. I had more free.
Let it go by.
I had more free time. I mean, it's just like, when you had more free. When you were in college, it's like, hey, let's go and watch qualifying. Okay, let's go. Now it's like, no, I got to cut the grass. Got to do this. Got to do that.
Well, here's your odds. Larson is the favorite to win. Then Truex, Hamlin, Elliott, Kyle Busch, Byron, Blaney, Chastain, and Bowman are your top 5, 8, 9, and Logano will round up your top 10 favored to win.
Where was Harvick?
11.
11th? How about that? He's raced good down there.
He's not having a good year.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
How about that?
Right.
Larson's not even on that list. No, he's number one on the list. Okay, there he is.
Oh, my God.
For a second, I was looking down there and said, how's Larson not on the list?
You wonder how.
For a second, I was like, where? What?
Wonder how this car has, when you're an older school driver, which Harvick would be, this new car might be affecting him just a little bit.
I think, the drivers, yes, he's got an advantage because he's got a good crew chief. So the ones that's got the crew chiefs that have seen almost about everything, I think can make the quicker race decisions on what to do and how to fix things. The problem is that they've never seen some of the issues, but like with the Hamlin situation last week and the wheels coming off and everything, it seems like a lot of teams that are having either that or tire issues, and now we're in Darlington, Terry, and that's probably it's got to be a big story, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. And what I hope is this race is like Atlanta, because I didn't think Atlanta would be as tight nuck as it was when we just raced down there. And I hope this race is just like that, where everybody's up there. Then you have a tire issue, you're wrecking a lot of cars, buddy.
Could be. You're right. Elliott's first in points. Blaney, Byron, Kyle Busch, Bowman, Chastain, Truex, and Larson. Zach and Terry, who y'all picking?
I'm going with Logano.
Logano from the 10th favorite
One of our
spot.
estranged employees always referred to
That's
him
why I
as that.
said that. I thought you'd get that for him.
Terry?
Oh, I've already picked mine.
Who'd you pick?
Kyle Busch.
Oh.
I thought you was going with Harvick, Terry.
Well, I do like him down there, but he just got through someone. He's 11th. Come on.
Well, NASCAR likes to do this, and guys win that haven't won yet. So the highest rated person in the odds who hasn't won yet is Ryan Blaney. And then no, I was wrong. Martin Truex is the highest person in the odds that has not won. So I'm going to go Martin Truex with my pick this week and see if NASCAR does the fix. All right.
Another thing you need to always look at is the players that are below 16. There's some of the well-known ones down there below. Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, that are below 16. And Brad Keselowski, he's down to like 24th or 25th.
He's not having a good year.
No.
He's not having a good year. I thought Wallace would have a little bit better year in that new ride, but it's still relatively early though. A lot could happen.
All right,
Looking
guys.
down there, I wouldn't think Kevin Harvick could be down in 12. Would you, Terry?
Yeah.
I mean, he's had some really, really. Was it 20 or 21? It was him.
2 years ago, he
Yeah,
was winning all the races.
he or Hamlin seemed like was winning every
and
race.
then last year they couldn't win any.
Yeah, but once they change up the design on the cars a little bit, and NASCAR changes the rules a little bit, then that affects where they are. But
All right, guys.
Logano at 9th is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I think that's. I would expect if you asked me who's going to be higher at this point, Harvick or Logano, I'd have definitely went with Harvick. But that's Zach's adopted favorite son now, Logano.
Zach, hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
we can
I just
hear
want to make sure. Want to say, hey, before we get a break here, JP, he is watching live online, believe it or not, after he clicked over from the Pokemon.
All right, JP. Hope you feel better, buddy.
That's
JP's
it.
not watching
No lie.
online. He's got a video game on his phone, and he's got it running in the background. It's white noise for him.
He's making sure you do the correct thing in there, Kevin.
I've got to come over here and press all the right buttons. I haven't found the Pokemon button yet, but I'm looking for that. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Family owned and operated, proudly serving Shelby and the surrounding area for the finest in heating and cooling for your home or business. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, and right now they have an exclusive spring special on Carrier, Goodman, and Mitsubishi systems. Get exclusive Shelby Heated and Air discounts of up to $750. Yes, discounts on quality heating and cooling systems of up to $750. Online at shelbyheating.com, see their page at whatsupshopper.com, and like them on Facebook too. Located at 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. It's a month-long blowout sale at Iconic Motors of Shelby. All month long, you'll get Iconic Memorial Month blowout pricing. Plus, come in now and get pre-approved in seconds. Cadillacs, BMWs, SUVs, and of course, trucks, and more trucks. No matter where you live, it's well worth the drive for an Iconic Memorial Month-long deal at Iconic Motors of Shelby. Online at iconicmotorcompanyofshelby.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com. Like them on Facebook too.
You may have more money than you think. Just look around. If you're looking at an old refrigerator, old mower, or any kind of old metal, you're richer than you think. It's time to take it to Webb Metals Recycling, now with a new second location at 1655 Pinedale Road on Highway 150 east of Cherryville. They buy all types of scrap metal, from cars to refrigerators and more. They pay excellent prices for all materials purchased. Webb Metals Recycling, 1305 Philadelphia Church Road in Dallas, and now also at 1655 Pinedale Road off Highway 150 east of Cherryville, serving the area for over 56 years.
Life is better in a Chevy SUV, and it's even better than that when you buy from Carter Chevrolet in Shelby. Right now, get 0% APR financing or $1,000 cash allowance. And right now, get 1.9% APR on the 2022 Chevy Silverado. And be sure to check out the first ever all-electric Chevy Silverado from Carter Chevrolet, 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at carterchevyofshelby.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Blow away the competition with the new Makita battery-powered LXT brushless blower kits now available at Cleveland Lumber Company in Shelby. You won't like it, you'll love it. And check out their goof-proof, ready seal stain and sealer for wood. No laps, no runs, no streaks, and no back brushing. Ready Seal is the choice of professionals. Plus, save on their line of Benjamin Moore paints and primers. Cleveland Lumber Company, 217 Airwood Street in Shelby, right off North Morgan Street. They are the builder's choice.
For all your janitorial, cleaning supplies, and disposable paper products, see Webb Chemical and Paper Company. You'll find great prices, great service, and they offer products in bulk. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Their friendly staff will assist you with all your product needs. Webb Chemical and Paper Company, conveniently located at 2500 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Stop by and see them today, or call 704-482-4331. Check them out on the web at webbchemicalandpaper.com.
There we
We're
are.
good?
There we are.
We're
We back
good.
up.
Just want to remind our listeners, Shelby Heating and Air bringing you this broadcast. Give them a call, 704-487-7877 for your heating and air needs. Thank you. Shelby Heating and Air. Once again, that's 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com.
All right, folks, we're going to talk baseball the next little bit. Major League, local, and youth, a little bit of everything. On soapbox
How
here.
bad are the Cincinnati Reds?
Oh, awesome. I love it.
Have they won
Jeez.
game 4?
No.
No.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's about where they was last week, remember?
Yeah, it was.
We got the win one, lose one Cleveland Indians, who either sweep or get swept.
Cleveland. Who?
They did. The Indians.
Who? I'm looking
Don't
for them.
start-
I'm looking for them on
Don't
the
even
schedule.
start
The
it this
Guardian.
week.
I'm looking for them on the schedule. I don't see them or the standings.
It's the Cleveland
Hey,
Indians.
Because
we're
we
not
moved-
in last.
Because they moved forward.
Bill
Kansas
and Ted-
City's
Bill
not
and
in
Ted
last. They move forward. Shut up. They move forward. Guardians. I don't
I'm
mind
living
it.
in the past over there.
I
Tom,
just
if I
hope
get
we
my
to
Braves, I'll have to
Zach,
go. If I
Zach,
get my Braves, Tom, I'll have to
Zach,
come over with you, but
I
I'm sorry.
just can't wait till the wokesters get you. They got us. They're going to
They
get
tried
you.
to get the Tar Heels. It won't be long. They'll try to get them again.
They'll get it. They'll get it all in the long run.
The
They're
Browns
gonna
will get changed to the Bulldogs at some point. Just wait for that one, Tommy. New York,
Oh.
New York's in first. Twins and the Angels,
Angels.
who are
That's what I'm telling you. They
And-
got rid of that little runt they had in their team last year.
well. I'm glad you brought that up because I wasn't going to talk about that. But their
Look where they at.
their new catcher they got. I read a story yesterday on him, and he is let's see,
Molina had moved?
no, not that.
Oh,
the
oh.
Angels catcher.
Oh, I thought Molina moved or something.
As soon as I find his stupid name, he's killing the ball. I'll see if I took the picture of it. No. Anyway, the Angels catcher has moved over. The reason I was gonna bring this up, he's hitting like 350 or something like that. But he so you know how today's guys have been doing this swing up whatever crap. The Angels catcher I was reading quit swinging up and started swinging a flat swing, and his batting average jumped 100 points. And he went from Double-A. They put him in assignment with that uppercut swing, and now he's batting leadoff for the Angels, who have a winning record. I'm gonna pull his name up here in a second, but we talk about that all the time. That swinging up stuff, I don't get it. And then it shows this guy right here has changed his batting stance or whatever, and now he's killing the ball. Oh, maybe it's not the Angels I was thinking about.
Trout's batting
Stazzy?
325.
Stazzy, yeah, maybe it is Stazzy batting 292. I know it's the Angels catcher. I thought it was, but yeah, I saw it last night. Must have had a bad night last night. It dropped a little bit. He's only got 50 something bats, but yeah, I just we've talked about that for years. I want to make mention of that how he changed his thing, and then Ohtani the other night had 2 hits and 11 strikeouts in Boston, and it's just crazy that we don't talk about him, or not just us, just everybody as much as if he got the publicity Trout does. Like, I mean, shouldn't we be talking about him like crazy? I mean, that's the Babe Ruth. He's sitting there in Fenway Park hitting line doubles off the wall,
Trout's
and then
bat-
striking out 11.
Trout's batting 325. This guy's batting 292.
I mean, that's
Of course,
cute.
we're going to talk about Trout more.
That's cute. I was talking about Shohei Ohtani, who's batting 234.
Oh, you're talking about Ohtani. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about,
Ohtani,
this. Still talking about this
234.
catcher.
Yeah, Ohtani's batting 234.
Okay.
That's Hall
So
of
we're
Fame
gonna, let's
numbers.
talk about the guy batting 234, and let's trash the guy batting 325.
Did I trash anybody?
He will here in just a second.
Did I trash anybody? I said, why aren't we talking about Ohtani more, who just struck out 11 and had 2 hits in Fenway Park? Like that's unbelievable. It's awesome. These players, I want to see more of that. Like more of that.
This is my deal with Ohtani.
But we don't, because we got DHs now.
This is my deal with Ohtani. Can you finish? He didn't last year. He started off great. That's all we heard. Then the latter part of the year, you never heard of him. He did nothing.
Got to be
Can you finish?
pretty exhausting, especially
Well,
when you're not taking back.
Mike Trout does it all year long. That's why we talk about Mike Trout.
Mike
He
Trout doesn't have
hasn't played
11
a full
strikeouts.
season in 3 years, Terry.
Well, I'm just saying. But when he does come back,
3 years.
when he does come back, he's producing. Ohtani did not finish last year, and I hear everybody.
What does that even mean?
It's the same thing at school. I hear people hollering about him. Oh, he's like such and such and such. I said, can he finish? And I go, what are you talking
He's the
about?
best player in baseball, Terry.
Last year, he was like 8 home runs ahead of Perez from Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Perez caught him, passed him, and left him behind.
Right. How many strikeouts did Perez have?
How
many wins on the mound did Perez have?
Just on the count he goes to
you
a
can't
mound.
say you have 5 more home runs, somebody, Terry, and the other guy pitches, and then you're a better player than him.
I would take Perez over Ohtani. Y'all can have Ohtani all you want to.
Okay.
Because at the end of the season, he's going to fade away.
He's the guy that would take Brady Anderson. Wasn't that the guy for Baltimore?
Show me you can finish, and I'll keep you.
I think what he means is he'll take him in his lineup. I think that's what
you take the weirdest stances ever. Wow. Anyway.
He would take him in his lineup. That's what he meant, Kevin.
What?
He would take his man from KC over Ohtani in his lineup.
Yes.
I think that's what he meant. Now, would you make a trade, though? Because Ohtani can also pitch and hit almost as well, even though he doesn't finish.
He bats .234. Okay, I mean, is that productive? Why, heck, no.
When you strike out 11 of the other guys, kind of neutralizes that, doesn't it?
I mean, he's not pitching every day.
Career 262 hitter. Last year, he played 155 games, but he didn't finish, whatever that means.
He didn't finish the season strong.
That's what I'm saying. He never finished.
He didn't finish the season strong.
What he did at the start of the season, after July the 4th, figure that in. I bet if you can figure what he did from the start to July the 4th, and then go July the 4th to the end, it's totally 2 whole different networks.
Terry, I'm going to tell you this. If you walk into my office and say you hit 260, 46 homers, 100 RBIs, and had 10 wins on the mound, and you're telling me you had a bad year? Is that what you're saying? He had a bad year?
He started off good.
So he had a bad year.
Can you finish? He should have
We'll waste 5 minutes discussing whether Ohtani can finish without even knowing what that even means. What do you mean? He made 155 games.
Should have hit 60 home runs.
God almighty. NFB standings, Twins in first. They're the only one with a winning record in the AL Central. American Leaguers 3 with winning record. American League West 2. And then, let's see, Cardinals in second. The rest of the division is pretty garbage right now. What's happened to the Cubs? I ain't even pay attention to any of that. They're not any good. Everybody out west has a winning record. 5 teams out west. Who you guys got coming out of that? 5 teams within 4 games.
Think of it. Arizona has a winning record.
That's how bad the Central is.
Yeah, they're not.
The East ain't good either.
Mm-mm.
If you tell Arizona they'd only be 4 games out right now and have a winning record, they'd take that every day.
I guess the team I'd like to see win out there is the Padres, if I had my pick. Definitely don't want the Dodgers. Not real crazy about the Mets either. I'd like to see the Padres come out of there.
But is it not a shame at San Diego? Nobody talks about them, but when you go to the Dodgers, they got an elite player in every position. And yet they're
tied.
Yeah,
they're tied winning percentage. Basically, they're tied.
Yeah.
San Diego's got 2 more wins and 2 more losses, so the percentage for Los Angeles is a little higher. That's why they're in first place.
Yeah.
But wow, where is Kevin's St. Louis go? They're in second place, 16-10.
They got a good record.
That loser you say is not contributing very much. Kevin, you got any Pujols updates for us?
No, I don't watch too much. I got kids cat wrangling every day of the week to do. So I'm not really on exactly where they're at right now. Other than they got a winning record. I mean,
it's baseball.
6 games over 500.
Yeah, it's baseball because a lot of people's not going to pick it up until it gets around July the 4th.
Right.
If you have
All-Star break.
So they're on pace for, almost 90 wins, right? Times it by 4, 5, 6, 60. Yeah, they're on pace for almost 100 wins, so I think we're doing all right now.
What's happened to, I was looking back at the American League. What's happened to Oakland? They started out pretty strong. 2-8 in their last 10. I thought they'd be a little stronger. Of course, I want to say they beat the Indians 3 games, but that's not unusual. For Cleveland, they either sweep or get swept. So the good thing they won the first game against Toronto. I was like, maybe they'll sweep. Well, they got a doubleheader today.
Last night, Acuna hit his first home run of the year since
Knocked him out
last
of his
July.
shoe. Did you see it?
Yeah, the Braves
He
are,
fell down. He fell
after
down.
he
Yeah.
hit it.
yeah, Braves 12-16. They're
That's
missing
what I'm
Freddie,
saying.
aren't they?
Yeah,
They're missing
think
Freddie,
about
aren't
it.
they? Yeah.
Well,
7
Acuna
games
just
back.
got. I mean, they only had Acuna for like this week.
Yeah,
First
I know
time
the
he's
Mets
been back.
swept them this past week.
Mets are good this year.
And DeGrom's not even pitching yet?
I don't believe he is.
No, because I thought I looked up last week he hadn't pitched yet. I didn't know when he's going to come back. When they get him back and if he's on?
Our problem is we're giving up a lot of runs, so we're not scoring.
Well, Tom, I was trying to find a updated projection for the baseball brackets. They do start playoffs this week, right?
You talking high school baseball?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that the can't remember the name of the conference that East Rutherford and all them are in, but RS Central swept Chase this week, so that left them tied. And from what I understand, I don't know the whole story, but there's the tiebreakers. All nothing broke the tie. They had identical records. They split with each other in their head-to-head. Blah blah blah. So they had a choice of flipping a coin or playing today. So it's going to be RS Central versus East Rutherford today. I want to say at the Owl's Nest in Forest City to determine who that
Ain't that better
champion
than
is.
flipping a coin? That just, God.
Yeah, but see the thing I wouldn't like. Okay, so you have to
Y'all
play
lose the
you have
pitcher.
to play a bonus game, so you're going to burn
Yeah.
a pitcher. Now it might not
Yeah.
be your number one. You may go.
Well, I play it if you're not going to throw your number one, though. If you're not going to throw your one, just flip the coin. You got a better chance.
That's
Huh?
I think.
I wouldn't want to go in and play my number 2 if I'm not playing one.
And
You
I
gotta throw
might
your
be
ones.
wrong. I think East Rutherford played once this week. I think because each team in that had a bye, like
Yeah.
a bye week where you don't play any conference games. And I think this week was East Rutherford's bye week. I think they played a non-conference on Monday, and then didn't play. And then RS Central had to play Chase twice, their rival. They beat them 15-5 Tuesday. I didn't see the score. What an update. I texted AD over there, and he told me that RS Central had won Thursday because everybody moved their games up to Thursday. Well, my buddy of mine is assigned to the game. He'll be umpiring that game today at the Owl's Nest. So they're going to play. And like Kevin says, are you going to burn your best pitcher? Knowing that you got a first-round game. And even if you have a higher seed, we were talking about this the other day. So, I got a higher seed, so I get a home game. Well, you might be playing a team that's 8-13 and have a pitcher's won all 8 of those games 1-0.
Yeah.
Now, that happens a lot in high school baseball. If there's one guy, one stud pitcher, and all them other guys believe, well, this is our day that we can win.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference. So
Right.
I don't know whether it's worth it. You know what I mean? I'm like with Kevin, well, flip the coin. We might be better off as the 2. You might be better off as the 2.
I see what you're saying.
So I mean, it's one of those things that's a little tricky because in high school baseball you don't play a series. Now, if I play a series, a 3-game series, yeah, go ahead, make me the number 1 seed. Your best pitcher might beat me, but I know I'm going to beat your other 2 because I got 3 or 4 pitchers and you got 1. But in a 1 game, winner take all these high school series, I don't know, Terry. I don't know if I'd want to face a 8-13 team from some town you never heard of, or some kid that signed with the freaking Mets or something, and playing his last game, and
Up
he goes
against
out there
Mason.
and shuts you out. You lose 1-0.
They're going to get there 1-0.
Yeah.
So standings in the Southern Piedmont 1A, 2A, Burns, East Gaston, Cherryville, Shelby. Now remember, this is 1A, 2A, so
Yeah.
most of the conference is going to be in the playoffs.
Now, Burns is the number 1 seed. And they had an interesting game over there. Burns walked off 1-5-4. Of course, the Cherryville kid hit a home run. It was contentious. Let me just put it that way. It was contentious, and there was a bit of, I think after the game, there were some hurt feelings and some things. I wasn't there, so I don't want to elaborate on it. But, nothing to where nobody's going to jail. But it was contentious. And I think that as long as Burns is in this conference with Cherryville, I do think that's a good rivalry. They're both good programs. They're both going to have good players every year. They've had good coaches. So I think that's going to be an interesting rivalry for however long this conference lasts. Now, like in football, it's kind of boring, but I think in basketball and in baseball, I think this is going to be intriguing every year that when these two teams get together, because it's always going to be close games. But Cherryville's going to get a high seed in the 1A. Burns is going to get a high seed, but East Gaston, they really had a lot of people said East Gaston was the best team in that conference, but good luck to all those teams. I think they're going to have good playoff runs. And Shelby winning record this year. That's been a long time since, Shelby.
Tom, you're talking about the pitch-up matchups. That conference exemplified it this week. I don't know anything about Cherryville or East Gaston's pitching. I don't know anything about them. But like you just said, East Gaston's only give up 25 runs in the conference all year. That's 2 a game. And they give up 7 to Cherryville in the first inning.
You have to wonder.
So, again, we don't know who was pitching. We don't know what happened. I don't know exactly the circumstance. But you're talking about, like you just said, a lot of people think East Gaston might have been the best team in the conference. You guys give up 15 runs in 12 games. They give up 25. Comparatively speaking, Thomas Jefferson gave up 167 runs in 12 games.
They struggle. And a lot of those are shortened games.
Right. And so, I deal with that on our end as far as kids in comparatively speaking, but, you do have big differences in those. In East Gaston, as far as 25 runs isn't bad. Total in 25 games, they've only give up 70 runs. So that's still under 3 a game on average.
And they're also going to play games where, okay, I'm going to pitch this guy so many pitches against this team that I think we should beat. And I might bring up this kid from JV just to eat some innings, and he gives up 6 or 7 runs, but we win 15-7.
Yeah.
So that might, sometimes those numbers can be hard to interpret. I could tell you why Burns' numbers are low, because the Webb kids had a great year. He's I think he's going to CVCC to pitch next year. So they've had one really good pitcher. And some of those games are shortened. You don't have to get into, but if it's an 8-run game, then okay, let's bring up this kid, give him some innings. Maybe if he gives up 3 or 4, it's okay. But, this time of year, they work on saving their pitching. You know what I mean? Like if you can, I know Cherryville was saving a particular pitcher for later games. They had a game they thought they could win. So they're going to pitch this guy. Maybe he gives up 5 or 6, but that's okay because we're going to score 15. So you're doing that game within the game to try, and so that might be a little misleading. But I think overall, looking at those numbers, you can't deny that Burns and how many runs did Cherryville give up? Burns and
30 was Cherryville. Cherryville was like 30
in conference, 39.
Okay,
total 100. Burns gave up 56 total. So in conference, 15, 25 East, 39 Shelby, 36 Shelby, 39 Cherryville, and then Highland Tech Bessemer. Jefferson gave up a lot. But overall, Burns and East Gaston gave up less. Burns is right at 2.1 runs a game, and East Gaston's like 2.9 runs a game, and the rest of them are Cherryville's at 4 runs a game, roughly. So it's those two have pitched really well all together. Apparently,
and your defense is not all pitching. Your defense is going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
Kings Mountain, Crest, South Point, North Gaston, and Forest View have winning records in their conference. Kings Mountain is your conference champions over the Crest Chargers. They also won the Easter tournament, I believe. They've given up 46 runs in 22 games, so just over 2 for them as well. Crest has given up 78 runs in 23 games, so about 3 for them a game. So there's what you're looking at with them. South Point's only give up 77, the same as Crest, and scored 10 more runs than Crest, but Crest has got 1 more win than them, so I guess they snuck by them right there. And then North Gaston, 125 and 64. So North Gaston and Forest View is just a little bit below that. That Kings Mountain, Crest, and South Point looks to me like 12-2, 11-3, 10-4 is your head runners in that conference. I guess the front runners.
Yeah, I think I like Crest maybe to win a couple games. They can get their bats going.
What time did you say that game was today?
Today is at noon, I believe.
I was about to say they got to play early, don't they? Because the state's got to get they're supposed to get their brackets out today.
Originally, it was a 5 o'clock game, and then they moved it to 12. And
probably they were told to move.
Yeah, they were told to move.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, they were. I believe, like I said, I believe.
We're playing at 5 o'clock. Y'all just wait on us.
Yeah. I would. I wouldn't say anybody would have that attitude.
You
would
don't,
they, Terry?
you don't think
Nobody would have
Q-Tucker
that
sitting
attitude.
in her office at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening waiting on that game to finish?
Yeah, just started.
I don't care to elaborate on Q Tucker right now, but I think Crest and Kings Mountain similar talent. I think it depends on if they hit the ball. I think both of them have enough pitching to get through. Are they going to hit the ball? I think if they do, both those teams can go a long way.
All right. Well, we'll folks just we'll have games Tuesday or Monday. Cherryville and a Cleveland County game. Whoever, Crest, Shelby, Burns, depending on matchups and where people are at, we'll let you guys know. Monday definitely we'll have it out Monday on Twitter and on the Facebook and everything else. You're talking about contentious things and everything, and I think in I've gotten to the point in that. I don't even get the chance to watch baseball because I only watch the Cardinals. I don't like watching any other team. It doesn't interest me at all. But the want to go see a baseball game or be in a park or being an umpire or being a coach or watching your kids play, for me, is dropping so fast that I've lost any almost love for the game of baseball. It is just disgusting me. The way that, and this is for all you local coaches and leagues and everything out there, the way that people act over a game, 9 and 10-year-old baseball, whether it's basketball, football, or whatever. But the want to by some adults to win a game and the willingness to embarrass other children and embarrass other people over just winning a kids game is the weirdest thing to me. And I'm not going to coach like that. I'm not going to teach anyone like that. I'm not going to play like that. And it's just weird where we're at in this. And I totally get why kids do not play baseball. At what age, Terry, you've been umpiring this a long time, do you see kids actually having fun anymore? If they're not, I don't know, I guess winning or whatever, but like none of my kids are having fun. At 9 and 10-year-olds. None of my kids in coach pitch are having fun in 7 and 8-year-olds. We've got one team that half the team has quit because all they do is strike out and play the field for an inning and then go home for an hour. And the parents are tired of it. It's left and right. Parents are hate what's going on. They hate the style of baseball that we do. The running around. If a pitcher drops a baseball while standing on the mound and you steal second base or third base, because the only reason you're doing it is because you have the thought that your team is so bad that I know you can't catch it, right? You're not stealing it because you think your kid's fast enough to beat the throw, right? That's not what you're doing. You're doing it because you think that they're not any good. Now, you play the first inning, second inning, got run rules, whatever. Once you get to that third inning, you're up 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. Terry, should you be stealing any bases, much less home? Up 3 touchdowns?
You should be stopping at the very next base you go to, no matter what. And matter of fact, you shouldn't even be stealing at all.
I 100% get if the ball goes by my catcher, you could take second base. Most of the time, I don't care if you take third if it goes by my catcher. But if you're up 15 runs on me, and you're stealing home when the catcher rolls it back to the pitcher? At what point do you... And here's the problem. And here's where we go. And so so this week, I want to talk a couple of things. This week in kids pitch, I had a team bunt on me up 11-0 in the first inning. Kid hit a homer earlier, comes up. Coach walks up to him, whispers in his ear, he says, just do it. And he walks up and bunts. Now, before the game, same team, I heard the coach talking to their scorekeeper. The scorekeeper the only person that talked to me for them was their scorekeeper. I overheard them talking. He said, whatever you do, he said, if they bat out of order or whatever, don't say nothing because we're probably going to bat out of order. I heard those words, Terry, from a coach talking to his scorekeeper. Caught them batting out of order in the first inning. Kid showed up late. They didn't have him in the thing. They moved him up in order. Caught him. In the first inning, I heard the coach tell the scorekeeper that. Don't say nothing. And when I went up to the umpire to say something to him, scorekeeper jumped up and ran so fast to tell that coach Next thing I know, before I even got done talking to the umpire, they'd already switched the batter out. And they'll deny that it happened the way it happened, but I heard what I heard, and I know what I heard. So we're talking about a 9 and 10-year-old team that'll switch batters when they get certain batters on base so they can knock them in, Tom. This is the same 9 and 10-year-old team who played a 12-year-old against me last year after we beat them the first time. They're so proud of how many wins they care nothing about anything other than winning the game. That we beat them last year. They got so mad they brought a 12-year-old to play us this year. So that's Tuesday. My kids, in 6 games, Terry, we have 1 hit. In 6 games, my team has 1 hit, and people are stealing home up 3 touchdowns on me. Now, if this was a high school team or a minor league team or any team older than 15 years old for the most part, Terry, when someone bunts on you up 11-0, what happens to the next batter?
Probably going to get one in your hip.
Yeah.
In Major League Baseball, that damn well happened, wouldn't it? Now, you can't do that in kids, can you? You can't do that. You just can't. So how do you send a message to the other team that, hey, you're being jackwagons, you're being silly? How do you stop all the running, Terry, of all these kids trying to make you look bad? So I've got to come up with some solutions because I got 2 teams that deal with this. I got 1 hit in kids pitch and the other ones aren't. In fact, the coach, Terry, Thursday walked up to me after up 20 runs on me and said, "Why are y'all so bad?" Exact words from the third base coach. I said, "What?" He said, "Why aren't y'all any good?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Do y'all not practice?" And then the ball went by the catcher and he sent his runner home for the 21st run of the game. What am I supposed to do or say to someone like that? How am I supposed to behave with my team? Because we can't run on them. We can't even get on base. We got 1 hit the whole year. And I told them before the game, Tom, don't embarrass me because we got 1 hit. Do not embarrass us. Now, I'm going to go through the lineup. And at the end of the day, here's what's funny. I got beat 28-3 in a no-hitter. I got called a jerk, and they didn't shake my hands. Now, I talked to another mathematician and coach, you might know who I'm talking about what strategy after this game, after I employed my strategy on what we should do. So, Terry, Zach, let's listen to this. So, this is what happens. I'm going to skip the first inning. We just played regular baseball, whatever. They stole like jack wagons, like they all do. Fine, whatever you got. They got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 runs in the first inning. So, it's 11-0 before we even swing the bat, okay? So, Terry, if you hit the ball, if they hit the ball, they get on second, no matter what. It's an automatic double. Then they steal third on the next pitch. Then they might steal home. Okay, that's first inning. That's what we're doing. Hit, double, steal third, steal home.
I understand the first inning.
Oh, that's fine.
Score
right?
all you want to.
Yes, that's baseball.
Yeah.
Again, they were still acting like, they would still, at any level of baseball. Tom, what's the lowest level age you do?
I've done 9-year-olds, but it's been a long time. I usually don't.
What's the lowest age you see kids round first and go to second on a regular walk and they throw it back to the pitcher?
You
ever?
Rarely see it. You rarely see it.
Does it stop at 13, Terry? Did 11, 12-year-olds do that? Get a walk and run straight to second base?
You do more in softball than you do in
11 and 12's the field's a little smaller.
It stops soon. Right at 11, 12-year-olds. I know they're not running on me when I was 11 years old at second base. Even if I was catcher, first base, whatever. So only in coach pitch and only in 9 and 10-year-olds does this happen, right? For the most part, running around, if your catcher throws to the pitcher, we're still in second and third.
You can't steal second in coach pitch.
I would say.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, okay, Terry, this is what happens. We threw a ball to our first baseman. He caught it and just held it and was waiting for the coaches to say something. And they just kept running their bases while the first baseman had the ball. They don't stop running whether we have the ball or not. We can have the ball in the middle of the field, whatever, anytime. They run.
But you're not in front of the lead runner, so they feel like I can.
No, so here's the play. They throw it to first. First baseman catches it. He goes to tag the base. The runner beats him, and they just keeps on going to second. That's not a real baseball play. Nobody does that. So anyway, my strategy, not in but in kid pitch, right? So we come up with this strategy. If you get a walk and you steal second and third, now Tom and Zach, my kids cannot get an out unless the other team strike out or we get a force play. There is no ground ball to third. We're throwing you out at first. There is no ground ball to short. We're throwing you out at second. If we catch it at short or second, we have to tag second. A good coach pitch team can beat us. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So we're not on any level other than that. So knowing that and having to coach my team and knowing these guys run like this, what do I do? So the strategy this week was when they run silly, we're going to go 2 bases ahead of them, and we're going to take a knee on the bag. That's all we did. And the other teams got mad at us. I was told by both teams, this is not real baseball. You're still in second on me throwing back to the pitcher. All we did was the catcher would roll it back to. So if we had a walk, the kid would run to first, never stop, went to second. Our catchers have to roll it back to the pitcher because if we throw it back to him, we miss it every time. We can't even do that. So we roll it back to the pitcher. He rounds second. My pitcher runs over to third and stands on third. And I instructed them to take a knee. So my pitcher takes a knee on third. Their runner stands between shortstop and second base, and we just stared at each other for a minute.
Then it's
because he wants up, right. So I told them, this is what I've instructed them. Every time they do something stupid, go to a base and take a knee until the umpire calls time. He has to call time at some point. And so I would go, hey, guys, take a knee. We'll waste 30 seconds while their player stands in the middle of the base because we're not going to throw it, but this coach won't send him back, and he wants to back silly. But we never fix it. But we're on a time limit, guys. I want my kids to hit. So
my question is this, and I'm trying to look at it from both angles.
Right.
I don't know who the coaches are, but if it's your first year ever coaching, maybe you don't know. Maybe you haven't played the game. Maybe it's the first time you've ever been out there. You know what I'm saying? You've watched the game and you've been around it, but
you don't know you're running up the rack like that?
Well, I mean, I have a hard time.
That ain't it.
That's like in the first inning.
No, because I was told that I didn't know what I was doing. So again, first inning's fine. So we get to the second inning. So here's my strategy. So again, I didn't even get to the strategy. So when you walk and run around and get to third, Terry, I could only get a force out. So you know what I'm going to do? Intentional walk that next batter. So now I have a force out at second and first. They got mad at me for that. They said, you're not playing the game the right way. I said, what are you talking about? So after about the third one this happened to. So again, they would get walked on 4 straight pitches, run past first base all the way to second, keep running to third until my pitcher got over there to take a knee. This is what we did for 10 minutes. So that's what y'all think is real baseball. And all I did was walk your guys. So now remember, my strategy is to force outs, right? So in the second inning, first batter hits it to first. My son makes an error, so he gets on first base. He's still second, next pitch. Still third, next pitch. Okay? So he's on third, no outs. I'm down 11-0. Intentional walk the next guy. Wow, what? You can't do that? What do you mean I can't do that? It's in first. The umpire, Terry, didn't even know that I could intentional walk him, and he would he tried to refuse it. So I had to talk to him about it for a minute. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse on him. Next pitch. So now I have runners at first and third, right? Next batter comes up. This kid struck out, and this is the 6th batter. He struck out in the first bat. We're going to pitch to him. It's 11-1. He gets a line drive to short, catch, throws it first, double play. Son gets confused, throws it late home. The kid at third tagged, almost had a triple play. All off my strategy of just walk the guy so I get a force play. Worked perfectly. Second inning, Terry, we gave up 1 run. All because we've put a force on. And we didn't get the force, we got the double play, but the next runner helped me. So what do you think I'm going to do in the next inning? Same exact thing. But here's what happened. I didn't walk. Here's who I did not walk. 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11 the whole day. I didn't walk 4. I walked 1, 2, 3, and 5. I didn't walk the cleanup hitter all day. And I didn't walk 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I didn't do this all day. It didn't start to the second inning. I walked 1 kid in the second inning. Third inning. Now, here's where it gets stupid. Their last 3 batters are up. This is the only chance I have to get outs. We're pitching to them. So I didn't walk any of them. But the kid did. Walk, walk, walk. Mm-hmm. Now I got bases loaded, and their leadoff hitter is coming up. Well, I don't think I got bases. I didn't have bases loaded because were stealing home. So I can't even remember who was on base when the leadoff hitter come up. 1 or 2 runs might have already scored just by stealing. Remember, they're up. At this point, it was 13-1, which is fine, right? The run rule's 15. But don't steal when you get 20 runs on the board. So then it goes, the leadoff hitter, I intentionally walk him to get to force. They start yelling at me again. Next guy, he gets walked by my players. Now I got bases loaded. I didn't walk in anybody. I didn't walk in a single batter. Error, hit by pitch, hit by pitch. So at this point, Terry, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs. So it's 19-1. And I've walked 2 people. Next batter comes up. Put him on. Because the hit by pitchman, very first pitch ends up at third. Put him on. Then they start getting roared. Because this was the kid, this is the kid I already walked, one of the kids I already walked earlier. And then the 7 hitter come up. No, where we go? Yeah, I put him on. And then it got back to them. Then when it got back down to the bottom, the 8 hitter comes up and we pitched to him. He struck out twice. Here's our chance to get an out. Base hit between short and third. What do I do? He got a hit. Who cares? You know, we're running around. They score some more runs. It's now 22-0. At this point, I think they're done. Walk, steal. Error E4, we had one where our kid missed it, and we could have got out. So we had 2 errors in the inning and a strikeout. And then I walked another batter to load the bases so I could get force outs everywhere. And that's when they just lost it wasn't. Here's what's funny about it. It wasn't the head coach. She never said a word to me the whole time. I don't even know what her opinions are of it. The assistant coach comes out of the dugout yelling at me. Well, I'm standing at home plate talking to the umpire about what my pitching change. This ain't baseball. This is awful. What are y'all doing? I look at him, I go, what do you mean? And he goes, something about this thing, how you play real baseball. And I said, nothing y'all have done in the past 30 minutes has it been anything to do with real baseball. You're running around like crazy. He said, that's baseball. And I'm like, so I just put my head on my face. I looked at Josh and I was like, the umpire's name's Josh. I said, I've had assistant coach standing on the field yelling at me right now. Why is he not ejected? I'm not ejecting him. So I'm sitting there watching all this, so whatever. And they weren't happy with that. And then after the game, so they score 5 more runs after that, I think. And then after the game, we go to shake hands, and that same assistant, 3 of his kids pulled their hands back from me. It wasn't, they missed it, Terry. They pulled their hands back. Now, this was on the last play of the game. The umpire, there was a close play at third. He missed it on purpose. I'll say this. He missed it on purpose to get them out so we could end the inning. The score was 28-3. The kid on third threw his helmet at the umpire, basically. He Terry, from between me and you, he looked right at the umpire and slammed it at his feet, and it rolled past his feet.
You gone.
Yeah, real simple.
This is after the game.
That's simple.
You gone.
Game's over. They just talked to him. So we go through to shake hands. The coach, he's last in line, the assistant coach that yelled at me. He gets to me, Terry. We get as far as me from Zach. He just turns around and walks back to the dugout. He was wearing a local high school hat, by the way. I don't know if he has anybody over there or anything, but he was actually wearing a high school hat, not the local Optimus hat. So anyway, I had an assistant come out yelling at me about that after they ran the score up. Again, once it got, you get up 15, 18-3, that's the run rule. Why are we still in second, third, and home? Second, I get if it gets by the catcher or whatever. I can't say nothing about that. You still in third and home up 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. But again, I can't say hit the kid. So only thing we could do is walk them. And newsflash to everyone else, every one of your kids is getting walked. I mean, they are. That's the only way we can get it out is get the bases loaded and walk somebody. And that's what I'm going to do the rest of the season. They can get over it. In fact, the strategy worked so good, Terry. Of the 11 batters, not a single batter had more than 1 hit. I had 7 batters with 1 hit. Now, like I said, I had 2 errors. So if we get the 2 errors in the inning, it's more like a 15-3 ball game. But either way, the running around and acting like fools is making me not even want to come to the ballpark. Because it's not... You've seen it.
I had to
You've seen
last year in a state tournament. I had a coach, first year he had a coach. Now, he's all the way in the state tournament, guys, and he did not know how to get out of an inning. I'm glad he was playing 11 and 12-year-old X-play, because then when it comes out of the pitcher's hands, you cannot be off the base. You know, you got to be on the base, and once it comes out, you can steal. And I had to tell him what the rules were for him to step off the base so we could get out of an inning.
Okay.
You know,
2 teams have done that to us this year, and they did that. They did it the other night. So after scoring 28 runs, then they start stepping off the base. So they have a problem with me intentional walking someone, but no problems with running around the bases or stepping off the bases. The bases are the holy grail, apparently, of 9 and 10-year-old baseball. So about the 3rd or 4th intentional walk, Terry, I went to ask the umpire for intentional walk. He told me no. Can you do that?
Yeah, I cannot tell you what to do with each batter that comes up.
All right, he told me no. And you know what he said? I said, what? He goes,
I can give you my opinion of how this is looking, but I cannot tell you what to do.
He said, this is taking forever. And I said, if you let him hit, he's going to hit it off the wall. We're going to run around for 5 minutes and yell at each other. Or you can walk into first, and I can pitch the next guy, and I might get a force out. He said, I'm not walking him. So I said, I've got time. I walked out to the other umpire at first base, got this far from his nose, and I said, I know the guy behind home plate. He was my kid's coach last year, was the umpire. I said, he doesn't know what he's doing. And I know he doesn't know the rules. You need to go in there and tell him, I just asked for intentional walking. He told me no, and he can't do that. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. So he went in there and talked to him. And I turned around, that kid's still in the box. I had to call time again. He said,
put him on.
And the guy at first had to point and say, come on. He still wasn't going to do it.
You don't have to
Did he think I was going to
just put him on?
Like, Terry, if I can't get Barry Bonds out and want to walk him, why would you rather me see him hit it off the wall here than put him on? I don't get what is so offensive about intentionally walking someone. I don't get it.
Well, they're mad because little Johnny's dad doesn't get to see him hit.
So if I throw 4 pitches, if I throw 4 pitches against, think about it. If I let my pitcher pitch, he's going to throw 4 balls. And then your kid's going to go to first and steal second, and he's going to steal third. If I put him on, he goes to first and can't go there, at least for the first pitch. I might have a chance for a double play on the first pitch.
See, here's my deal with the and I don't know. I know the guy. I've seen him doing it last year. But my deal is this. Either you can let me go out there and I can throw 4 balls where this kid's never even going to touch them.
Right.
I can throw it over your head.
It's good.
It's going to hit the net, the wall behind you, whatever. And I can do that 4 times and he's going to walk. Or you can just say go to first. I just saved a lot.
What makes me say catcher, don't catch these balls that he throws right now?
Can I just say?
I mean, just silly. It's just silly stuff. Go ahead. Yeah, you say whatever you want.
That when you have these leagues, okay, we want to see everybody bat. So we're going to get rid of the intentional walk. Okay, in every inning, don't care how many outs you get 9 batters. Once we've had 9 batters, we're going to let the other team bat because it's a kid's game.
I tell you what,
9 and 10 Angels.
That's what they did. It used to just bat through, didn't it?
Now listen to me. 9 and 10 Angels in traditional at our place. You bat 9 kids. That's the inning. If you walk the last kid, that kid gets 2 bases. You know, that's the only difference. On the number 10, they get 2 bases.
I come up
100% get that. I get it.
And
because,
another
again, so in the 7 and 10 year or what coach pitch, you got a 7-run rule, right? Is it 7 run
coach pitch rule, 7 runs.
7 runs in it. Why can't we just look? Here's the thing: we're playing timed games anyway, right? So wouldn't it be better to have a 10-run rule in an inning? Like how would that be that hard, Terry? Say you can't get more than 10 runs in
I wouldn't even say that. I'd say 3 or 4 runs.
Other than the lineup, I mean, you bat through one time, you've accomplished your. So Terry, again, remember. This coach was mad at me for intentional walking, for winning 28-3. He had 3 kids score more runs than we did. What did he want, Terry? What did he want? Did he not get enough runs? That's what I wanted to ask. At what number would y'all be happy? Do you want 35? I tell you what, should we just forfeit before the game? Should we walk up and be like, look, y'all going to win. I don't want you to embarrass us by running around like fools. We'll spot you the win because that's really what y'all want. We want to play baseball. Y'all want to win.
But
should we even play them?
Here's another thing. What I would say.
If you're not going to shake my hands after beating me 28-3.
But why are we letting kids steal bases in 9-year-old? That's what I don't understand. Even if the ball gets away, just stay on the base.
Yeah. But there's a lot of coaches that tell them stay.
The problems in this league, to me, like if I'm the commissioner, we could solve these problems very easily.
Yeah.
No stealing bases, 9 batters an inning, and when
that would solve 90% of everything.
When Johnny's dad says, John, take your team to another league because this is about kids playing baseball
and
learning the game. And at this point, if the ball gets away, it's like Kevin made the point earlier, you're not going to be able to just run around the bases in higher levels of baseball.
Right.
You're not teaching them the game. So I say that it's too early for running around the bases like that. Anyway, just 9 batters a game, no stolen bases. And that way, everybody gets to hit. And Johnny's dad, who's probably had a 6-pack before the game, act like an idiot.
7, 8, 9 hitters.
To see everybody back.
The 7, 8, 9 hitters. No, 8, 9. 9, 10, and 11 hitters in their lineup all scored 3 runs.
Yeah,
my team scored 3, and they're mad at me.
Yeah, you made.
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, you made your point.
Yeah,
you made your point. I'm just saying that these leagues, baseball is a game that needs a little modification because there's no like a soccer game that's out of hand is going to end because it's a time limit. And I know you're trying to put in time limits in baseball, but the time limit in that game doesn't make sense if you're not giving both teams the opportunity to field and to hit. So that's why you do the 9 batters. Everybody fields, everybody hits, because this is about teaching kids the game. And you can't learn the game if you're out on the bases for 30 minutes watching the other team run around the bases.
If you're not happy and you're frustrated.
And there's a lot of, like I say, I just call them drunk Applebee's dad. There's a bunch of drunk Applebee's dads out there that want to come to the game and score a bunch of runs. It's kind of dumb.
I want my catcher to be able to throw it back to my pitcher.
Right. It's just...
And get ready for the next pitch.
Right.
Not... Throw it back to the pitcher. Hey, they're running third. Hey, they're throwing second.
Just put a stop to it.
This is so stupid.
Put a stop to it.
I hate it.
See, that's the difference. To me, now here's the difference. If you go Dixie baseball to Dixie softball, there are so many rules that are different in both games. In Dixie baseball, you can run around like you said. They got in between and they just stopped. In Dixie softball, you got to easily be progressing forward or you got to go back. There's no in between. If you hesitate in between, bam, you're out. It's simple. You cannot. You got to keep moving forward or going back. And when the ball's in 9 and 10s, when it's thrown back to the pitcher, there is no stealing.
Right. How can the same people make the same rules then?
That's a good question because
how does the same people make the same rules?
Somebody's dad who has a good team wants to do that. And it's just dads have ruined a lot of baseball.
I tell you what,
dads have ruined a lot for kids and for leagues.
Yes, they have
because of the way they act.
I loved stealing bases. I didn't like it as a 9 and 10, 11, 12-year-olds because you have to stay on the base. You couldn't get a lead. You couldn't do it right. You couldn't do anything. I hated it. So I again, Terry, one of my bigger points on this is that you had 3 kids score 4 runs, 3 kids score 3 runs, 2, 2, 1, 2, and 2. Which kid didn't have a good day today? Which one of your kids, you had such a bad day and such a ruinous day, and I ruined your life so much by letting him go to first base and score, and my kids have 1 hit in 6 games. Like, come on. It's just, they had 28 runs on 7 hits.
I don't disagree.
Tell me where those runs come from, Terry.
We're not disagreeing.
I know, I get it. But I'm getting, so that is my only solution then, is it to walk and go for forced bases, is it not?
If you're going, I would say
I'm going
to
tell him before. I just don't get why you're being mad.
In your defense, I know what that guy's going to say. He's saying you're undermining the spirit of the game. But what I would say, let me finish. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
Coach, you're undermining the spirit of the game.
That's what I said
is
back
why
to him.
I have to undermine the spirit of the game, which is why you're trying to get 9-year-olds to do something that people get paid millions of dollars a year to do. That's why you have to modify it. That's why there's a 9-foot goal in kids basketball.
Yeah.
There's modifications you can make to try to get more of the skill development. Then it's just dumb to let kids run around the bases because the pitcher's arm the catcher's arm's not developed enough to throw it back to the pitcher
That's
yet.
where I keep going back to when I was in the state tournament and the guy did not know, because his first approach to me was him coming to me, asking me, hey, those guys over there are making fun of us on account of such and such. I said, Coach, they're making fun of you because the score is 21-2. They said, you're running it up. And he is like, so what am I supposed to do? How do I get out of this? And I said, this is what you got to do. And I had to go over what he should do.
And that's what I call drunk Applebee's dad. You're an idiot.
He just,
you're just an idiot.
He's coaching in a state tournament and never done it before. You know what I'm saying? Because he's never beat nobody this bad.
You come to the. I mean, it's just come to the game that stupid. It's
let's
just you don't
look
need
at
to be
some
coached.
comparative stats, and you can see where we got beat. Obviously, we only struck out 8 times. We struck out 5 of them, so we're close on that. They walked 9 of our kids. We, without my intentional walks, walked 12 of theirs. So it's not that horrible. It's just, again, Terry, you're stealing third and home up 15 runs, and that's the issue. And again, if you had a 10-run rule per inning, I don't know if you would never have that issue at all.
I wouldn't even do that. I'd do 5 runs an inning. It's 9-year-olds.
I feel the
think
sentiment.
they run.
I feel the
Now,
sentiment.
Tom, I'm like this, and you've seen stuff like this. I think the run rules can be lessened, like not beat somebody by 20-3.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? What have you done to a team that's 9-10 and you just got through beating them by more than 20?
You want to give all kids a chance to play all facets of the game.
Yeah.
At that age, it's about skill development, not about daddy
Because you're
winning
still
a game.
teaching.
I mean, it's
They're
just
still learning.
You're teaching.
Okay.
That's a
Again,
problem.
I've got
That's
11
a problem.
I've got
Nobody wants to teach the game.
I've got 11 kids on our team.
Because that's hard.
I got 11 kids on my team, and 7 have never played.
Yeah, but
Do you understand that?
Yes.
I've got 11 kids on my team, and 7 have never played. I'm talking, Tom, they don't know what outs are.
I know.
They don't know what safe is. They don't know sliding. I've got 3 or 4 of them that ask, when do I slide here? Do I slide this? What they have?
There's high school kids that don't know what.
They have. That's true.
I know, but they have no idea about the game of baseball. And I'm trying to think, like, where would they have learned? So when you're playing the coach pitch, again, we've talked about the coach pitch. Your kid, the coach is throwing from 40 feet away, throwing a rainbow, and some of them can hit it, some of them can't. But I don't know where my kids would have learned how to play baseball. The ones that have never, and they just show up. And then Terry, All-Stars is something different, right? But we're playing regular season right now.
Yeah.
It's a different type of thing. And I don't have my All-Star. Like the guy said, why aren't you any good? Like, kiss my whatever. Zach, you kind of went through this year, and I was in the same position 2 years ago in the same league with as you were this year, is that some of these leagues also keep teams together. So I was told, Tom, this team that beat me 28-3 told me she had the worst team in the league. And that they've got all the young developmental kids, and then beat me 28-3. So what are the other 3 going to do to me? What are the other 3 going to do? So Zach's kid was on this year's team. They already have their team set, and then anybody that extra comes in, they shove them all on that team, and then they'll poach the good players when they play the away teams.
I know they do that too.
It's the most. And so now Zach's sitting here. I don't even want to get into him on theirs, but it's just insane.
They still they do that all the way up to adult leagues. Yeah. They try to stack the deck. I mean, it's stupid.
It's a baseball game.
It's stupid.
It's more about the adults than it is the kids.
You're 100% right. Those adults at that league and both of those teams live and die by winning those games. And if you get mad at me by walking your kid out and he scored 4 runs and you won 28-3. And you wouldn't shake my hand. And hey, here's what's funny. The third base coach, the one that was asking why we're terrible, after the game, he was last one in line. I didn't get a chance to talk to her. I said, hey, I just want to let you know your other assistant and 3 kids pulled their hands back, wouldn't shake my hands. You know what he did? That was his response.
Well, at least he's teaching character development.
That was his response. None of your people shook my hand and he did this. I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, I don't know what to say. And I said, well, I'm just telling you. I'm not mad at you. I'm just telling you how y'all are acting. And and this is how y'all acted today. Y'all wouldn't even shake my hand. You beat me 28-3 in a no-hitter. He goes, and walked away. How do I talk and deal with people? Do y'all have 4 teams or is it just 2? Because I'm not playing those teams again. Okay. I done told them. I'm not playing any team that does that to me. I'll scrimmage them. I'm not doing that again. It's just insane. And y'all can go ahead and tell everyone over at all these optimists that when they play me, I'm walking your best hitters. Get ready for it. Hate to break your heart. You're not scoring 28 runs and stealing home on me. I'm walking every one of them. And we'll be back in a few minutes here. As y'all gonna say, I gotta run in here and hit the button.
Just remember that Saturday Morning Sports Talk brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877.
Family owned and operated, proudly serving Shelby and the surrounding area with the finest in heating and cooling for your home or business. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, and right now they have an exclusive spring special on Carrier, Goodman, and Mitsubishi systems. Get exclusive Shelby Heating and Air discounts of up to $750. Yes, discounts on quality heating and cooling systems of up to $750. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Located at 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. On May 17th, vote Alan Fraley for Gaston County Clerk of Court in the Republican primary. For the past 18 years, Alan has been serving you as a Gaston County Commissioner and is now running for Clerk of Court. Alan wants to thank you for your past support, and he will continue to help and serve the people if elected Clerk of Court. He plans to bring efficiency and accountability to the office of Clerk of Court, not business as usual. Alan has been a longtime conservative Christian Republican and will bring those principles along with him as your Clerk of Court. Mark your ballot for Alan Fraley on May 17th for Gaston County's Clerk of Court. This announcement paid for by Fraley for Clerk of Court campaign. It's time to hit the open road, but first, have your car or truck checked out at Rick's Automotive in Cherryville. Be sure to check those tires. Rick's Automotive has name brand tires like Cooper, Michelin, Goodyear, Uniroyal, and many more with the best tire prices around. And they also do brake work. And they are a North Carolina inspection station. Get your oil change, have your AC checked, or get a tune-up before you hit the road. That's Rick's Automotive, 1001 East Main Street in Cherryville. Call 704-435-3801. Beam Construction Company in Cherryville is now hiring. Right now, Beam Construction Company has job openings for carpenters and masons. Just apply at their office at 601 East Main Street in Cherryville. Since 1925, Beam Construction Company has been dedicated to building the future of the Piedmont regions of North and South Carolina, from schools to churches to town halls. For more information, call 704-435-3206 or visit the website at beamconstruction.com. Beam Construction Company, dedicated to building your future. It's a month-long blowout sale at Iconic Motors of Shelby. All month long, you'll get Iconic Memorial Month blowout pricing. Plus, come in now and get pre-approved in seconds. Cadillacs, BMWs, SUVs, and of course, trucks, and more trucks. No matter where you live, it's well worth the drive for an Iconic Memorial Month-long deal at Iconic Motors of Shelby. Online at iconicmotorcompanyofshelby.com. See the page at whatsupshopper.com. Like them on Facebook too. It's time to hop into a new ride this spring during Spring Fling at Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville. Right now, get 1.99% APR on new autos and 2.25% APR on used vehicles. Finance it up to 84 months with GAP available. And get $100 cash back when you refinance. Leave those old high rates behind with Carolina Federal Credit Union, 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. Online at carolinafcu.org.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back, one local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
All right, remember, Shelby Heating and Air bringing you Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. If you need a new system, maintenance, need some duct work, they do it all. Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. Once again, you can check them out online, shelbyheating.com.
All right, time for some NFL draft grades. Y'all ready for this? Mm-hmm. And we'll do day one draft grades. How about that? Well, I don't know. This it should be for the whole draft, shouldn't it? I don't want to do day one, day three, whatever. We'll skip a different one. Anyway, as far as that goes, before I find something to mess with that, Zach, how about why don't you grade where your Carolina Panthers are?
I was very happy. I'll give them an A. I don't think they felt that the NC State lineman would have dropped to them, and I think they were surprised. They took him. They did a great job. They didn't let him go and then reach for a quarterback, which they got. I think they got a decent pick to get him that late, so I'm not upset with it at all. I think they did very well. That's my grade for them, an A.
Terry, you got a grade on your Cowboys?
I would give them I'd give them a B. I mean, I don't think that we got the guy that we wanted, but we did go where we needed it on the offensive line. We did go there, and I give them a B. I mean, it's not the guy we wanted. We wanted a guy from Boston College, but we ended up with a guy from Tulsa.
I'm sitting here going through the grade drafts. They're in order by grade. So
Well, that's awesome.
if I can't just jump to a team I want in alphabetical order. SportsIllustrated.com gives the Cowboys a C+. Offensive tackle in the first round, outside linebacker in the second, wide receiver in the third, and a tight end in the fourth. And then a bunch of random stuff after that. Analysis: the Cowboys draft was fine, but seemed to do nothing to separate them from an NFC field quickly gaining ground. This was a 2-year window in which Dallas had the opportunity to step on the throat of a fledgling division. Instead, the Cowboys exposed some of their most significant weaknesses. Dallas spent their first pick replenishing the O-line and their off-ball linebacking core, the two units among the best in football, for a short time before they aged out. Williams is an attractive chess piece for a defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, who has generated new life for his ability to isolate and empower the pass rushers. Ferguson eventually could add some pop to Dallas's offense. As a secondary player coming in from Wisconsin program where blocking is a necessity, it seemed like a lot of his routes came as he recovered from chipping duties at the line of scrimmage. So they got a blocking wide receiver as one of their drafts. So I don't know how that reads up in the draft. Tommy, Brownies.
Well,
I'm scrolling up to them.
Can I scratch my head a little bit? They did trade. Now, on this show, I was called kind of not so smart because I said, what are they going to do? Put this Emerson kid at slot corner, and y'all said he's not fast enough. I don't know if you all saw that
we read the scouting analysis.
The Browns traded their slot corner back to the Rams. So it's like, I don't really know what you're doing. It seems like a guy plays on the outside. Then they go linebacker. They could need that. David Bell is supposed to, they need a wide receiver. So they drafted Bell. Then Perrion Winfrey, who some people think's a steal. Okay, you might lose Clowney, so you needed some depth there. You draft a kicker in the 5th round who is 83% for his lifetime. I'm not really sure.
Is that good or bad? I don't know.
I mean,
does anybody know the kicker percentages?
That's a good question. 83%, I guess. I mean,
then you draft,
I don't know where he's kicking from. What's his 40s and 50s?
That's from 20. That's bad.
Then you draft a running back. I guess you feel you could never have enough because they get hurt.
Well, here's the reason for that too, Tom. Especially in a late round running backs, you need somebody for training camp. You don't want Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt taking all them training camp carries. You want all these guys from
practice squad stuff.
Yeah, South Alabama State University. Come play.
He's from Cincinnati.
Ain't that what they did with Trey Harbison?
Yeah. And then they got Michael Woods, another wide receiver from Oklahoma. And they went Oklahoma twice. Oklahoma with Woods, and then Isaiah Thomas, who a lot of people thinking is a better pick than a 7th round pick.
I bet his jump shot is nice though. Yeah. That's the 3rd Oklahoma player.
And they did get 3 Oklahoma players, and then Dawson Deaton, and they got an offensive lineman from Texas Tech. I don't know a tremendous amount about him, but what would I give their front office here lately? A D- because of this Baker Mayfield circus that we're having, and why is he still on the roster at $19 million? I mean, how can you make a deal for quarterback with him still on the roster? He's not part of it. Then you have a guy who we don't know what his deal's going to be after Trevor Bauer gets 2 years in baseball. What they're afraid of is football doesn't want to look bad, and saying this guy with all these allegations, and they're alleged, they're allegations. They've not been proven in a court of law, but still, it looks like he's facing at least half a year suspension. And now it's really the well is poisoned with all this drama coming out with Baker Mayfield. There's no way he could take another snap as a Cleveland Brown. And everybody else knows that the well is poisoned here, right? So, nobody's taking a drink out of that well. What are you going to give for Baker Mayfield? What are you going to give for him? Nothing. Or I'll take him. You pay $10 million of his salary.
They're either going to do that, or the teams are waiting on him. Or the teams are waiting on him to cut him.
I mean, it is just this situation. I understand if you sit down with me and said, "Well, Tommy's got to go. The locker room's no good. the other guys don't like him. The chemistry's off. Okay, I'm fine with it. But then why do you put yourself in a situation where you got to get Watson's a tremendous talent. Nobody's going to take that away from him. Now you got a situation where you don't know if he's going to play. You can't play Mayfield. You got Jacoby Brissett, who's a decent backup, who's shown he can win. But you put yourself in this situation when you've got the offensive line and some other pieces in place where you can make a run, make a run at it. Who would have thought the Bengals would have been in the Super Bowl, right? You always got a chance to make a run at it. But now you've put yourself in this drama situation. And how's this going to help you win football games? I don't understand it. Drafting a kicker drafting a kicker?
Well, I'm going to go back to you and Kevin. Why, and maybe I missed something, why did Cleveland decide to go after Watson anyway? You know what made me? Why did the Rams go after Stafford? Oh, big splash. We won the Super Bowl. A lot of other things fell in their lap, too. Von Miller falls in their lap. OBJ falls in their lap. So, I mean, some other things kind of lined up to help them out. But at the same time, it's just like you can't get yourself into this situation. I would have been happier with, now, if Deshaun Watson has a clean record and he's ready to go, yeah, you upgrade. Sorry, Baker, I know this hurts your feelings. We got a chance to upgrade. We're trying to win. This is a business. I'm fine with that. But when you sell the farm for this guy who you don't even know is going to play, you know what I mean? And what he's going to do to your fan base, I just don't think it's a smart move. Talent-wise, yes. All the other stuff, I don't know. How's this going to play out? I just want to keep emphasizing, not convicted in any court of law. Not going to be convicted of any criminal charges. But still, everybody who knows anything about football says this guy's going to sit at least 9 games. 9. And then next year, you're in salary cap hell. I mean, they're over the cap. They pay this guy a ton of money. Now what are you going to do? You got no money to go out and sign anybody. So, I mean, I guess they can get creative and they'll figure it out. But I just right now, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. It was one compound that killed after another because when you went to get him, and then Cleveland was like, Mayfield, we don't need you. Then they talking to Mayfield like, we don't need you. Then Mayfield starts talking back, and then everything got messed up. Because if you don't bring Watson in, and you hadn't really gave Mayfield a yes or no whether you're going to be a quarterback here, you've got nothing. I mean, now you're down to Brissett.
I'll be the first one to say that Mayfield could be a teenage girl sometimes. I know that. And if you don't want that in your locker room,
but
fine.
If I'm stepping on your toes, telling you that you're not going to be part of us, you should be able to reply back.
I would have. I would have rather have gone with this uncertainty. I maybe say, okay, we'll get a Matt Ryan because he's an adult in the locker room, and then figure it out. You know what I mean? Get an adult in the locker room. Now, if you want the best talent, it's Watson. But it's just so much. And like I said, I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he did. I know that in civil cases, when you have to start giving depositions, like a lot of people don't know that. You get sued, you don't have the right to remain silent. You're going to go fight it in court, you don't have the right to remain silent. You got to talk about what you did. And it hasn't gone well.
But I'm also the same guy who sits back and understands where Mayfield's coming from, like Kevin says all the time. We had nothing. This guy took us to the playoffs. We won a playoff game, and we're telling him, poop, you're nothing now.
The rumor was that some of their better when the Odell Beckham thing came down, that a lot of guys were on Odell's side. They basically, I don't know if they agree with like what Odell's daddy did.
Yeah, I wonder why they're on Odell's side.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is it's just they're on Odell's side, and it created the rift.
Yeah, let's be on the cocaine and hooker side and not on the family.
I'm not saying look Kevin.
I know,
Kevin. I'm not saying who's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's a fact that a lot of people were upset when Odell was allowed to walk away. And
SI gave them a B+ for the draft. As far as the offseason, it obviously didn't give them one.
I don't care if they got a B+. I mean, I guess they. I'm a teacher by trade. I'm not a GM of football. I'm not one of these guys that tries to pretend like I'm a GM. But at the same time, I guess I don't understand what you did here.
I know Tom's not going to like some of what I'm saying here, but one of the reasons why I decided to pull for the Cleveland Browns, Tom, was no expectations of winning. Right?
That
do y'all
makes
remember?
no sense.
No, do y'all not remember? So that was one of the reasons I wanted to pick a team that had never won anything.
You wouldn't be let down,
And they still have.
And one of the reasons was that every year, as a Cowboys fan, you hear Jerry Jones come on TV and they talk about it. We're going to go in the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. And they ain't been to a championship game. At no point do Browns fans do this. And some of them got spoiled a little bit when Baker come in and won a playoff game. And now they want to, now we need Deshaun Watson. Let's go to the Super Bowl. So, Tom, in 10 years, let's say in 10 years, let's say they don't make an AFC championship game. You say it's fairly successful. It works out, blah, blah. When they come back to honor Cleveland Brown greats history, are they calling Baker Mayfield or not? He's the only quarterback to win a playoff game in 30 years, but we're not calling that guy. It's like Philadelphia getting rid of Nick Foles as soon as they could after winning the Super Bowl MVP. Like, just get out of here. Like, does he get honored now to win the only Super Bowl? Does he get invited back? Only Super Bowl on the team? So does Baker Terry, does he get invited to the reunions? Bernie Kosar, Terry, Tom, is on every show and radio thing in Cleveland ever.
Yeah, I know.
The same number of playoff. I don't know how many playoff games Bernie Kosar won, but he's the last one that won one. I think he won 2. Did he win 1 or 2? He had to win 2 because he won the AFC Championship game, right? So he had to win 3 or 4 probably. But yeah, do they bring him back? That's what I don't know. Panthers great. So to me, they've already messed it up. I told y'all last week as far as winning a Super Bowl, most teams can't. This team ain't. Just write it down. Not with the quarterback missing 9 games and all that stuff and the mess.
No.
They totally royally messed up the Baker.
It's just you had Baker had to be part of the deal.
He won a playoff game and then played injured for you.
I get it.
You get rid of him for a sexual assault.
I get it. I get it. I mean, it's one of those things where somebody might say, well, the chemistry, for whatever reason, the chemistry ain't here. I mean, if the chemistry ain't there, it's not there. I mean, you make good points.
How many Cleveland Browns commercials have you seen in the past 25 years that ever featured a Brown or the stadium?
I know.
And Baker's sitting there. They've got the cameras inside the stadium in Cleveland.
I know.
And they get rid of him.
I know.
Are they? Who's that? Progressive? Are they picking up Deshaun Watson?
No.
No. So it's a weird situation. It's extremely weird.
Beyond weird.
I think it's a GM selling out totally. Like we talk about, I've got to win or I'm gonna get fired.
Right.
I want $5 million a year. I gotta win something.
And they gave him high grades for their later round picks, but I'm gonna tell you, you better nail some of these later round picks.
Well, Zach, y'all got to see
when you're in the salary cap situation. You better nail some picks. So I mean, you know.
Well, the Panthers are one of the teams in the Seahawks in talks with maybe Mayfield, but the Panthers go, like you said, Zach, O tackle and then a quarterback, Corral at 94 overall. They gave you guys a C, and it seems like you kind of fit your 2 biggest needs / holes.
I thought it was great.
Bigs, right?
They got the. I guess
who
who does not want a great left tackle? I mean, how quarterback, left tackle on offense. Quarterback, left tackle on offense. Am I wrong or right?
You got them in the same draft, maybe for the future. Let's see what it says. The main criticism here is the failure of GM Scott Fitter to make more out of what they have. We've watched, for instance, as the Eagles rescue themselves through smart administrative work and then watch other teams, such as the Panthers, in a perpetual shrug emoji. If the plan was not to draft the best quarterback available, the limited draft capital at their disposal should have gone toward an all-in approach to buoy Sam Darnold. If the plan was to draft a quarterback to compete with Darnold, they should have tailored the draft around Corral, who hails from an RPO-heavy system that requires certain players to make it effective. Brandon Smith seems like a Phil Snow defensive coordinator type of a player, though, with blitz capability and an edge and a mean streak. While it's always hard to project big hitters once collegiate players reach a larger pond, Smith has quite the resume of helmet twisters from his time in Happy Valley. Y'all are in. Again, we talk about with the Hornets. Nobody's coming to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's coming. I'm going to come be the Panther. In fact, Baker had an opportunity, and he pretty much shot him down for the most. And then he's like, "Hey, maybe I can, maybe I will." It's not. You're going to have a new coach soon, and GM, maybe GMs. I don't know. I don't know what Peppers will do. You might even have a new. They might even end up in Raleigh if they give them enough money. Raleigh or Columbia is going to give them some money, Tommy.
Yeah.
And if state of South Carolina was smart, they'd legalize gambling and then offer Myrtle Beach to them. And that would be like, it'd be like Vegas, East Coast Vegas.
The Myrtle Beach
Right.
Panthers.
Yes. I'm serious. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm not playing. That money comes in, right, Tom? That
You watch
that
games,
hedge
go
fund
get
manager-
drunk, boogie board.
He
gamble.
built half a facility in Rock Hill and then stopped it.
That's insane.
Just wasted straight up money. You know what I'm saying? He ain't moving to Myrtle Beach. You've seen how he acts with his wife. He loved being down at the beach with all them older folks.
You don't
money.
have the infrastructure there. You don't have the roads and stuff to get there. If you had like major highways, like interstates going there, but you don't. There's no interstate that goes to Myrtle Beach. So I mean,
people struggle getting to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
They actually,
Tom.
you do.
I mean, it's pretty
Actually,
straight
you
in,
do.
buddy.
It's come on, Tom. They got to turn into a tourism industry there.
Yeah.
You're talking. It's just. I
You
just
might
don't
have to
think-
slow down every now and then. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The majority of people at the
Yeah.
Panthers games aren't city livers. I'll tell you that. They're the outskirts.
Yeah, but
I've
you
lost
got-
the actual
You got two
word.
interstates run through Charlotte.
That's true.
Suburb.
Yeah, the suburbs. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said again, I'm happy with the grade C. I mean, I think grade A. I'm happy with the 2 picks they got. I don't like the C.
And I think your 7th pick, Matt Rule, got that one for you.
Probably did.
All right, well,
Baylor.
with that question, did anybody win the draft before we go?
You don't know. Nobody's
Mm,
played
yeah.
it down. Who won the draft?
Speculate.
Well, I just didn't know if y'all felt like, hey,
And
this certain team that
none
did
of-
really well
none
or
of these
anything.
guys that played a down. Wasn't Tom Brady a 7th round pick or something
Yeah.
crazy? So, I mean, you don't know who won the draft till we see some games. I mean, all speculation. All these overpaid guys blab on the TV about who did, but I think that
Yeah, they also the ones that picked all them quarterbacks to go
yeah.
early.
Let's see who can play.
I know. How can you before we go off to a commercial? How can you have a first round where all of your projections are all these quarterbacks, 5 of them going in the first round, and the Panthers get him in the 3rd round, and you get a C?
Yeah,
Where
and
did
all
Sam
you got
Howell
was
go?
a 1.
Sam Howell went. I think he went
Somebody
4th.
got him.
He went right after.
No, what team?
Oh, that's a good question. We'll find out.
Didn't he go to Commanders?
Yes. Yeah, he did.
He
yeah.
did, didn't
He did. He went to the Commanders. All right.
Good
He'll
job.
be
for Dallas.
starting for them.
Who was their start? Heineke?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, he might be. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Family owned and operated, proudly serving Shelby and the surrounding area with the finest in heating and cooling for your home or business. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, and right now they have an exclusive spring special on Carrier, Goodman, and Mitsubishi systems. Get exclusive Shelby Heated and Air discounts of up to $750. Yes, discounts on quality heating and cooling systems of up to $750. Online at shelbyheating.com, see their page at whatsupshopper.com, and like them on Facebook too. Located at 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. If you've been thinking about selling your car, Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop in Kings Mountain can make it easy. They are now taking consignments. Let them do the work for you, getting you the best price possible. And don't forget about their Service and Body Shop. And right now, Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop has employment opportunities for a light-duty diesel and auto service technician, offering skill-based competitive salary and benefits. Just apply at Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop. 522 Oak Grove Road in Kings Mountain. Open Tuesday through Friday, 7:30 to 6. Closed 1 to 2 for lunch.
Wolfman Jack, it's me. I'm back. My name's still Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Jack.
And you might be sitting out there and thinking that we ain't getting nowhere fast. I mean, people don't leave the house unless they put on a surgical mask first. And even at a bar that I hang out, you know, the bartenders have been using thermometers to stir my drinks with.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, 10 a.m. to 12 noon on The Boss, WHS Shelby, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. The new 2022 Volkswagen Atlas with 4Motion is waiting for you at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Buy now and get a big $1,000 discount, excluding the R-Line package. Classic Volkswagen has $1,000 off the Volkswagen Jetta and the Volkswagen Teos. Plus, ask about low 1.9% APR financing for 60 months. Come in for all the details. You can even buy online. Just go to ClassicVWGastonia.com. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Check out the new arrivals this week at Cars, Trucks, and Credit in Lincoln. Take a look at a 2005 Honda Civic at $12.99 down, a 2003 Ford Expedition at $14.99 down, a 2008 Ford Edge at $14.99 down, and a 2004 Jeep Liberty at $17.99 down. That's Cars, Trucks, and Credit. 604 Clark Drive in Lincoln and online at ctcautosports.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
Need metal roofing? Then you need to see Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing in Lincoln. At Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, you buy direct, saving you money. Featuring premium paint systems, painted fasteners to match, and 1 to 2 day turnaround. 29 gauge material in stock with 22 colors to choose from. It's the largest selection of colors in North Carolina. Plus, they will custom cut your length. Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, 108 Industrial Park in Lincoln. Call 980-429-2278. Triad Corrugated Metals is now hiring Class A CDL drivers.
All right, guys, we're back on the Shock Joxx Sports Saturday morning show this morning. Not Shock Joxx, but the sports radio show.
Well, Shock Joxx Sports Talk on KDC broadcast.
So we want to thank our sponsors today, Shelby Heating and Air, for all your heating and cooling needs. So
704-487-7877, ShelbyHeating.com. You can rewatch the show on YouTube anytime. You can also listen to the show in podcast form on our favorite podcast forums. Just go to look for KDC Shock Joxx. That's JOXX, Shock Joxx, kept by KTC Broadcasting. Shelby Heating Air, Saturday Sports Talk. All right, let's get into the NBA playoffs to wrap up or here in the middle of the second round. No matter what happens in tonight's games, guys, all 4 series will be 2-1.
Yeah, sure will.
So after all that fussing and fighting, after all this, no matter what happens tonight, every series will be 2-1. After last night's games, Philadelphia beat Miami, and what
pretty handily.
What's crazy about that one, of course, is look that Miami score. In the regular season, are you winning a game with 99 points, Terry?
More than likely not.
I mean, think about this. At one point,
it changes real quick, don't it?
Golden State, just a couple weeks ago, scored 75 points in like a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean.
But, Embiid made a big difference in last night's game. I mean, just him coming back, a presence in the middle for Philadelphia. Miami didn't have free pass.
It makes a difference having someone 7'2" that can
he's like a monster, you know? I mean, he's huge.
You know,
I mean, he really is
to defend him.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're mailing it in for most of the regular season because it's so long, and then playoffs is different. We all know that, you know.
I always sit back, and this is me, and that's where I'm starting to hate regular season in any of the pro sports that we got. If you just play close to 500, you're going to have a chance.
And do you think they're doing that? Is that a fair assessment? Like, okay, it don't really matter where what seed we get here because let's just kind of mail it in, have a little bit of fun, and tighten it up when we get to the playoffs.
Obviously, they don't care anymore as far as that. My thing has always been, as far as that goes, regular season is these guys getting paid too much money to hustle.
Oh, I agree.
You can't pay Cody Zeller $10 million to be the back. You can't pay the backup center $10 million. Like, his job is to run into people and risk his body and block shots and foul people. If you're giving him $10 million, then all of a sudden it comes game day. Oh, my knee's a little sore. I mean, think about it. You could lose $10 million on a knee bruise.
Yeah.
So, like, once you pay them that the risk of them getting injured isn't worth them hustling.
Is it worth it anymore? Because, I mean, that's when I sit back and I think guys who come from Carolina, Tyler Hansbrough. Is that how come he couldn't make it in the NBA? Because he only had one mode, and that was full blast.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm
100%. I agree. They didn't want to play him. He would come in the game. He would play hard. And people would, like, make fun of him for playing hard and stuff. And I'm like,
that's
just the way he is.
That's who he is.
Terry, I know you don't want to hear it, but his per game 48 numbers, 36 exact time numbers are the exact same numbers when rebounding-wise as No, who was it? No, I gotta go look that up. I'll get back to you on that one. But his numbers actually weren't as bad as what you're saying, as everybody said. Is that like you're right? You got a guy that's hustling and going hard, and they're not used. Definitely on defense, they're not used to people playing like that anymore. No.
And then all of a sudden he comes down, and my Lord, I got to pick it up a notch just to be with him.
I mean, that's this score right here is a 90s, 80s, 90s,
It is.
79. I mean, that's what, you know, you would look at the Bulls when they won their championship. There was a lot of 79, 85 game, you know.
Well, what happens is you get in the playoffs. Well, you get in the playoffs. Some of these teams, they don't want to play like the Phoenix Suns and just shoot as quick as they can.
You look at, I mean, Kyle Lowry. He was horrible last night.
So looking at the Heat's lineup, like PJ Tucker, you know he's not going to get any points. And Kyle Lowry's hit or miss.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry might get you 30 one game and 0 the next.
He only shot 4 times. Bam is not a scorer.
No.
He's an athlete. I don't even know who Struss is. So Duncan Robinson didn't play.
You got Oladipo on the bench and Hero.
Oladipo is probably your best athlete out there on the team. He only had 6 points in 21 minutes, and then Tyler Hero. So they had nothing last night for Philadelphia at all. Philadelphia,
Miami, you mean?
Yeah, Miami had nothing for Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. I thought you said okay.
But the Sixers, like again, they only got 99. It's not like they just
smoked them.
Outshot him out to Jim. Danny Green had a good night, but he only gave up 79. But he were awful.
I mean, think about your shooting: 4 out of 13, 5 out of 12. I mean, yeah, now
Danny Green was hot. I mean, but that's him. I mean, he might come in and be hot.
So you know you ever heard of the stat per 36 minutes? It's basically saying what you could average if you were actually got starters minutes. Hansbrough, this is career, so it's not even like his best numbers, right? This is career average per 36 minutes. 14-9, and he never got get to play, and that's what he averaged. Think about it. Your coach. You put him in, he averages basically 14-9 while he's in there, and you still don't let him play.
I mean, I agree.
It was weird.
I mean,
it was really weird to me. So his second year in the league, Terry, he per 36 minutes, he's averaged 18-9. In his first year in Toronto, he averaged a double per 36 minutes, 11-11. I mean, hey, let's say again, NBA stats. We'll look up the rebound leaders this year and see how many they got a game, just to see where he would rank in his career. Terry, he's at in 36 minutes it would be 9. His best was 10.6. So that would rank anywhere from 6th to 10th in the NBA if he got starters minutes.
And never really had a chance.
Never.
I just
and he was on a team that he could have played. I mean, with Indiana,
Charlotte.
Yeah. I mean,
he got 1 year in Charlotte. Never played
but
again.
the Indiana thing. I mean, he was a good role player for them. I mean,
had 4 years in Indiana. The actual averages in Indiana was like. He averaged 9 and 5.
How many minutes did they give him?
19 a game. So you can easily double it and see that he'd get 18. You can have 18 and 10 a night, and you don't want it.
Yeah.
But again, I think they're mailing it in through the year. I think they tightened it up a little bit in the playoffs. And
what happened to him, I think, is what happened to Anton Jameson, but slightly different. So Hansbrough came in when everybody they wanted was to shoot. They wanted the fours to shoot threes, right? That's all they wanted. So he's in this area where that's all they wanted. Jameson came in the league where they were switching from making the fours work on the post to making them shoot. So they moved him when they moved him to small forward, I was like, he cannot play Vince Carter. He cannot play the same position as Vince Carter. And they did their best to make that work. That they shoved it. He had a good career. He averaged like 22 a game. But they just put him and they put him at small forward too. I never saw that. He had the best touch around the basket of any Tar Heel I think I've ever seen, just touch wise. He would if he gets you on the post, that little baby hook, you couldn't do nothing with it.
Not even that though. On a putback rebound, he wouldn't never rebound. He would actually touch it and then drop it. You know,
they would just have him
knock it in.
I think the NBA played him and Hansbrough out of position. They moved. They wanted Hansbrough to. They just sit him on the bench because he wasn't shooting threes as opposed to getting 19. But anyway, that's here and there. The other series, we've got last night Dallas evens the series up. against Phoenix, and then tonight both games are 1-1 in those series.
I think Boston plays 3:30.
They're both actually. As I was about to say, Terry.
Yeah, and
today I actually get to watch playoff basketball.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if anybody.
It's on ABC today.
I can't pick up ABC.
You can't pick up Channel 9.
No.
I'm getting them on. I get them on 9/5.
I'll have to try that.
There's like a couple different things, but it's 9-5.
Who's playing on it? Boston?
My 9-1 don't come in. Boston and Memphis. Boston and Milwaukee is at 3:30. Memphis and Golden State is at 8:30.
How much are tickets? I can't see it.
66 for Boston, 230 for Golden State. That's as low. That's the lowest price. $230. See Steph Curry in the playoffs against Memphis Grizzlies. Dallas and Phoenix last night. Dallas wins. Booker played though.
Yeah, he's played the whole series.
All 5 starters for Phoenix were in double figures. The 2-man show of the Dallas Mavericks is still hanging on like a hair on a biscuit with Brunson and Doncic. Brunson led them in scoring last night though with 28 points. He's one of those. He's like Van Vliet, isn't he? Like
from Toronto.
He might get 10 every night, and then every third or fourth night
he's
he
gonna
gets
be
30.
He's gonna
what
be
are you doing?
Like a B- player,
Like
where he
where he
might
comes from,
show
yeah.
up and you might get everything, and the next time you might get a C out of him.
So they're I don't know when the next game is in this series. Dallas will
probably Monday.
We'll be at home. I guess I could just
could be Sunday.
I guess I could click back twice for our folks.
Probably Sunday. You usually play every other day.
Pulling that up. All right. They will be playing Sundays. So they played Friday this Sunday. So they're trying to get 2 games a day. It looks like the schedule's got it set up like that for 2 games a day the rest of the week. So there shouldn't be no more ones or missed games coming up on the schedule. Either one of you got Phoenix upsetting Golden State? Is that the only win they get? Are they going to get to 6 games?
Phoenix? You mean
Memphis?
Memphis. Mm-hmm. Memphis could have taken game 1, and John Morant missed a layup at the end of the game and lost by 1. So they could be up 2-1, but Golden State is the better team. Memphis has got a big hitter in John Morant, though. He can put 50 on you anytime.
We talked about that game before, and we talked about critical free throws missed. Klay Thompson went to the line.
Yeah,
with 2
what's his all-time free throw percentage?
Yeah.
He's one of them 90%ers, is he not?
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he missed 2 and gave
2 at the very end of the game.
a chance.
I don't know his exact at all, but
I'm gonna say he's at least mid at high 80s.
Oh yeah, I got the stat of the night, the Twitter and its stats. Here's the most random stat ever that means nothing. Y'all ready for this one? And I just saved it because it was just stupid that somebody has a job to tweet this out, Terry. Matisse Thybulle has now tied Hersey Hawkins for 18th. Wait a minute. You don't even know what I'm about to say. In the all-time playoffs blocks list.
18th.
Should that even be anybody's job to put out there? Matisse Thybulle tied Hersey Hawkins for 18th on the team's playoff all-time blocks list, Terry.
Good job. Now, if you had moved into the top 10, okay.
That's still not a story.
18th.
It's still not a story.
But not 18th.
The thing about it, who's sitting around Zach wondering, I wonder who's got the most blocks in Sixers playoff history. I want to know the top 20, not the top 10, Terry. I need the top 20.
On a specific team, not overall.
Yeah, just Sixers.
That's even worse.
Yes. It's an NBA, top NBA data live.
Well, some people keep up with teams.
He must be one of those.
I wonder if that's a computer that did.
But I'm not looking at your bottom 11 through 20s and on.
What?
18th, they tweeted. So, but again, if you're tweeting about the 18th, does that mean we're going to get a tweet now about when he ties 17, 16,
it should
15?
Be. Why wouldn't you?
The guy should be fired if he doesn't, right?
I see it. Everybody should know he'll
You've got 17 more of these tweets coming for you, boss man. What a stat. What our most random stat in the world.
Great job.
Just pull a name right out of the hat. I ain't heard in years, though. Hersey Hawkins.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what's funny about it. Who's thinking of Hersey Hawkins' block stats?
Of all the things that he can do well.
He can shoot you up.
But now, give the guy credit. He knows a little bit about Philadelphia history.
I think it's a computer.
Yeah.
I think that's a bot. All right, Terry. It's time to talk about your boy, Chris Paul, and his behavior this week.
I think what's wrong with him?
How many technicals does he get this week?
It's not the point of what technicals. They're up 2-1.
How many technicals has he got this week?
It'd be like Draymond getting technical on his end.
Right.
Misbehavior. I mean, you know.
I've just told you from the start. Chris Paul is not a good person at all. and the way he acts around people, and I don't even know.
He'll get to move on.
Huh?
Yeah, they'll get to move on.
They might. They better. But Booker, of course, Ayton scored 25 in the first game.
Ayton's pretty good.
That was huge.
He's decent. He fits in their mode. I put it like that. He fits in the Phoenix mode of what you got to have.
Well, so Paul's probably some of his best years were in the Clippers, right? Is Ayton not probably a better?
Oh, he's way better than DeAndre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he can jump like DeAndre.
No.
But
skills,
hand-eye coordination skills, yes.
He can't rebound like DeAndre could.
But he's good at. I don't know. He's a pretty good rebounder.
He alters a lot of people's shots.
He's 7'2" or something. He's a big guy.
Yeah, good big body in the lane. That's what I mean for Paul. And that's what when he succeeds, he's got a big man like that and a wing. Booker is one of the best guards in the NBA. But I did want to point out, Terry, with a 2-0 series lead, Chris Paul has lost 4 times in the playoffs. 2008 to the Spurs, lost 4-3. And then 2013-16, and then last year he had 2-0 leads and got beat 4 straight times by Memphis, Portland, and then last year Milwaukee, of course, in the NBA Finals. So that can happen. Now, this is the one I want to talk about. I heard for 5-10 minutes, 2 weeks, about Kevin Durant and his turnovers, and he had 6 in a game, Terry. Chris Paul had 7 last night.
And they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So
when you're part of the game, you cannot give it to the other team.
Right. When you're the point guard, you can't turn it over or you're going to lose every time. 7 turnovers. That's the most turnovers in a single game. Here's what's funny about it. On a player's birthday in NBA history. So Chris Paul set another.
Who looks that up?
Another
Who
record.
looks that stat
Another
up?
record, Chris
Kevin.
Paul. I didn't look it up. It was tweeted.
It's another one of them tweets. Crazy.
That was like
random tweets.
Well, so in 2 weeks, Paul has set he set records, NBA records for that was that record, and then he had 4 points in that one game last week, and that was the first All-Star to score under 10 points in the playoffs since 2011, LeBron James. So he's already set 2 records in the past 2 weeks, playing badly, not even goodly.
We'll just end up seeing how many he's got through the whole series.
What, turnovers?
Yeah.
11.
That's what he's got right now?
Yeah.
3?
No, it might be 12. I can't. The second game was 3 or 4. First game he only had 1 turnover.
Okay, see, that's the difference because Durant had 4 and
they
he
didn't
had
win
like
any
20
games.
something.
You know what else is the difference, Terry? One's a point guard.
That's true.
And the other's getting
That's true.
double teamed.
But it's the guy who has the ball in his hand a lot, though, too.
Durant's biggest problem, one thing I will say, he should never have the ball dribbling outside the 3-point line. And they let him run the offense.
They do.
Would you honestly, Terry, if you had a 7-footer who never missed from 10 feet away, why wouldn't you run down screens with him all day long, spin him around and post up whoever he screened, and then go from there? Would that not be your offense?
But
just the Tar Heels secondary offense, where they run down the middle, they get to the block and turn around.
And give it to him.
That should be their play every time. And if he ends up on the 3-point line after they move the ball around, fine. But never should that dude be dribbling the ball from 40 feet away trying to make a play.
When you got Kyrie.
That's silly. Or anybody.
It's
right.
because it's because the way they play basketball today, and it's
Would
insane.
John Stockton let Karl Malone dribble the ball out there past the 3-point line like that?
No,
whether he can shoot 2 or not.
Spot,
I think there's going to be a time. I know we got to go, but I know there's going to be a time.
We got a few more minutes. Just the fact that the whole Jordan thing. He would go to if someone is his size or smaller, he would run straight to the block and turn around. And then from there, you're in a heap of trouble. Once Durant, Giannis, whoever a 7-footer that can score, Rasheed Wallace, Dirk, every one of them that got the ball that could score on the block, you're in trouble. Mm-hmm. And they never do that with Kevin Durant. That's the weirdest thing about it.
The more people we get in here that's like Giannis, that might not be able to do that kind of stuff, we might start to see a little bit go back to the way basketball was played. But football does it too. Offense, defense, the way you play your style. I would like to go back to see a traditional 5, where you got your 2 guards, your 2 forwards, and you got your staple center.
I don't mind at all shooting wide open threes and passing around and doing all that. I don't mind it. But to not have one player on your team, Terry, that can score in the post is insane to me. Like, whether it's Durant whether it's your small forward, your power forward, but to have a center out there that can't even do anything is just weird to me. And there's a reason Embiid's blowing through these guys. And
that's like Giannis. Giannis, the first game against Boston, that's what I said in here. We had 3 guys to defend him. He destroyed us in every phase in game 1. But in game 2, we readjusted. We did things different, and all of a sudden Giannis was 11 out of 27. You cannot let this guy beat you. And in the first game, he beat us with points. He beat us with rebounds. He beat us with assists. But here's the problem. Let him do his thing, but if the guys that he's dishing to cannot hit it, that's where the game changed.
Right. Look, Giannis is playing LeBron ball right now.
Yeah.
He's taking it to the rack. And he's either going to kick it out or take it and get to the free throw line. That's what he's doing right now. And that's his game. He's 7 foot. Career free throw percentage on Giannis.
What about 65?
71 or 72%. He's better than I think LeBron's right there at that. So he might even be better than LeBron. Giannis is 72.
I would take 7 out of 10 from him. I would be okay with that. I'd want him to improve, but I would take that. He wouldn't be a Shaquille where he couldn't hit 40.
LeBron's
45 or something.
73. So yeah, that Shaq was 58.
So there you go. As many times he touched the ball.
And that's the one thing that aggravates me when they talk about these. So they'll talk about these all-time players in today's list. If you ask anybody younger than us, Zach, LeBron and Shaq are the 2 best players that's ever played basketball because they're just bigger. That's their thing. That's their bigger, stronger, faster. And I'm like, I saw some lists last week that were talking about this, and they had Shaq listed ahead of Akeem Olajuwon on a lot of these. How can someone that smoked you twice or just smoked you in the final swept you? You've been swept 5 times. He won 2 championships. Who? Name the second best player in the first championship the Rockets won. Terry, you was talking about the play-in games not going to win 7 or 8.
It would match probably.
You know what they had those Rocket teams had the lowest. They were 6 seeds when they won that second championship with Drexler. That's the lowest to ever win it as a 6 seed, and it was the Houston Rockets with Akeem Olajuwon. Shaq got smoked by David Robinson and Akeem Olajuwon in the 90s. Patrick Ewing beat him in the 90s. As soon as they all got old, that's when he started winning. He got the best shooting guard in the league on his team. All these championships include the first or second best shooting guard, did they not?
Mm-hmm.
He did not win a championship without the first or second best shooting guard in the whole league and after all the other centers were gone. All the other great centers were gone.
That's a big guy, though, y'all. The other day, when they showed him.
Oh, yeah. Did you see him against Barkley?
Yeah, Barkley. What a difference between night and day. And you're like, these guys would have matched up against each other every now and then.
Barkley bounced a basketball off Shaq's face.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Boom!
And the crazy thing about Barkley
he didn't care.
is
he averaged more. Barkley
he can rebound.
He averaged more rebounds.
Yes,
than Shaq
that's
did.
what I was fixing to say. Like, it's unbelievable how good of a rebounder he was.
Yeah, you sit here and tell me.
He's 6'6".
This guy.
They say he's 6'7". I don't believe it.
No, they say he's 6'5".
What a difference.
He's actually 6'4", 6'5".
The other day, they was all standing up, and I about flipped out. I said, look at the difference in these two men.
Shaq is a very much larger human being. And that's my thing about him is that, and the same thing with LeBron, think about it. What move or what skill would you teach a kid to shoot like LeBron with that form?
No.
So what move? Okay, Jordan's got a fadeaway. Jordan take it to the rack and dunk. What is LeBron's best move? Bully ball to the rim and pass it out.
Yeah.
What's Shaq's best move? Bully ball to the rim
and slam it.
That's their only moves. And so, like, I get it. They're bigger or stronger. But to me, when you tell me somebody like Shaq is better than Akeem Olajuwon, it's like telling me the DH hitter David Ortiz is better than the Pujols who actually play the position. To me, it makes no sense to me. Akeem Olajuwon and David Robinson are better basketball players than Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq was bigger and harder to deal with, but in the 90s, he didn't win on them.
Mm-hmm.
When they retired and got old, That's when he started winning his championships with no other center in the league. And
People
so
forgot how good Elijah one was.
I'm not saying
Elijah one had touch.
He was like 24,
Yeah, he had
12, and
touch.
3
I'll
for
never,
most of
ever,
his career.
ever say Shaq's not good. I'm just saying I think Elijah one gets so underrated. It's not even funny. And that one kills me.
You could not defend the Dream Shake.
Right.
It was almost
What's
indefendable.
Well, here's what's funny about that. The
Undefendable.
series they talk about with Robinson and Akeem, Robinson still averaged like 25 and 12 on him.
Yeah.
But he gave up 30 and 12. So like that may have been the best Terry since, the Chamberlain Russell days. Is that not the best center matchups maybe that we've had in the playoffs?
The athletic.
Yeah.
When's the next time we're going to have two centers combined for 60 and 30?
Only chance you got that is if Philadelphia plays Milwaukee.
Or
and
Embiid.
you count Giannis as a center?
Yeah.
Or Embiid and Jokic.
That's what you got to.
You could do Embiid and Jokic maybe.
Yeah.
That would be
Embiid and Jokic come close.
That'd be close.
But neither one of them I don't think are the athletes.
Their bodies are different. They're more of the the Shaq bulky type.
Yeah. All right, so we got the playoffs this week. We'll talk about that next week. We'll have more. We'll have high school baseball to talk about next week. Where everybody's win. I guess the third round will be next Saturday, so we'll have 2 rounds to go over. Finish up some more NFL playoffs. Maybe Baker Mayfield will have a new home by next week. We're talking more Major League Baseball and more. Any other things coming up on this week, guys? Have a happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Go buy some flowers, candy, whatever you need to do today. And so, all right. Well, we're going to call it a day here. I'm going to Zach, if you'll read the Shelby Heating and Air thing one more time while I go find us some playaway music and stuff.
We want to thank our sponsors today, Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call for your heating and cooling needs, 704-487-7877. Again, that's Shelby Heating and Air for all your heating and cooling needs. And we'll see you guys next week on Shock Jock Sports Radio Talk Show, Saturday morning.
Family owned and operated, proudly serving Shelby and the surrounding area with the finest in heating and cooling for your home or business. We're talking about Shelby Heating and Air, and right now they have an exclusive spring special on Carrier, Goodman, and Mitsubishi systems. Get exclusive Shelby Heating and Air discounts of up to $750. Yes, discounts on quality heating and cooling systems of up to $750. Online at shelbyheating.com, see their page at whatsupshopper.com, and like them on Facebook too. Located at 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. The Twisted Pair in downtown Forest City presents American country music legend Doug Stone.
I'd be better off in a pine box on a slow train back to Georgia.
In concert at the Pavilion on Park Square in Forest City, Saturday, July 16th at 7 o'clock. Tickets are now on sale and general admission seats start at $35.
He sends her roses and laughs he composes, things a lady loves.
Visit the Twisted Pair's Facebook page to purchase your tickets or for more information. Tickets may also be purchased in person at the Twisted Pair at 184 East Main Street in Forest City. Don't miss Doug Stone and the Stone Age Band.
Every morning I watch you walk into the office in your business suit and matching shoes.
Doug Stone, Saturday night, July 16th at the Pavilion on Park Square in Forest City.
80 hours a week.
It's time to head to the mountains. Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, that is. Come play today. Playing right 18 holes Monday through Friday for $30, after 1 p.m. for just $27. And on weekends and holidays, you can play in right 18 for $40, and after 1 p.m., $35. Monday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride 18 for $20, and seniors 55 and up play and ride Monday through Friday for only $27. The Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, 255 Lincoln Academy Road between Gastonia and Kings Mountain. For tee times, call 704-739-7681.
The City of Cherryville would like to take this time to salute our local students and faculty for a job well done. You are our local heroes, and we appreciate all you do for our children and their future. This special salute from Cherryville Mayor H.L. Bean, Council members Jill Pewitt, Malcolm Parker, Gary Freeman, John Abernathy, and City Manager Brian Dalton. You are appreciated, and we salute you for the job you do. This message from everyone at the City of Cherryville. Crank it after you visit Eddie's Auto Parts in Lincoln. Eddie's Auto Parts is your local interstate battery dealer. From lawnmower batteries to power sports to batteries for big commercial equipment. Get yours today from Eddie's Auto Parts. So crank it with a new interstate battery from Eddie's Auto Parts, your locally owned CarQuest dealer. Located at 2514 East Main Street in Lincoln.
When you want some help from a fellow car lover, it's all in one place, as you'll discover. Roll in to CarQuest and roll on.
The tradition continues. That is, taking Mom out on Mother's Day to the Captain's Cap Family Seafood Restaurant on Linwood Road in Gastonia. And the Captain's Cap has a great Mother's Day special. How about steak and shrimp with your choice of potato, hush puppies, and salad, all for $16.75. Find out why they were voted Best of Gaston's top seafood restaurant. Bring Mom out on her special day to the Captain's Cap Family Seafood Restaurant, 3140 Linwood Road in Gastonia, online at thecaptainscap.com, and like them on Facebook too.